Fast Lane on Monday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, 201. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Another successful series for our Cardinals as they take 2 of 3 in Kansas City. Dropped yesterday's game 2-1, but they beat the brakes off the Royals on Friday night, 10-3. Jordan Walker blasted a solo shot, which wound up being the lone run in the game on Saturday as the Cardinals win that one. But again, yesterday, they lose 2-1. Matthew Liberatore pitched very well, though. Kind of an interesting tweet by Scott Singer, Cardinals fan, on Twitter. Marsh dug this one up. 7-1 road trip, he tweets out. 26-20 overall, which is the Cardinals' record. It's time to end the boycott and buy tickets, folks. The players deserve to see 30-plus thousand plus in the stands every game moving forward. They earned it.
So he wrote that before the last game, though, right?
He wrote it.
He said 7-1. They finished 7-2 on the road.
There you go. 7-2 on the road.
Just for context.
Yes, because they're 26-21. Yes, good call. Yeah, so he wrote that beforehand. What do you guys think on that? Do you think they deserve? You think the fans or the players deserve the fans to just start gobbling up tickets again?
No, I don't. And I look at it differently. I look at it as in, are the Cardinals playing exciting baseball again, worthy of fans to go back and watch the product? Mm-hmm. Not the players deserve anything. This group of players, though, I will say, this group of players has performed very well. The last couple of years, and we know with the Scotch tape and all that stuff, trying to keep the team together, bringing in old players, recycled players, former Cardinals, guys that want to be here. That whole song and dance didn't work very good, and people were upset about that. They were upset that the Cardinals spent $0 in free agency in the offseason. I don't blame them. So I don't feel like people, need to, or they're required to come out to support this team now. No, but I will say the Cardinals are playing exciting baseball. So process of elimination should get you to the factor where people want to go back to the ballpark. They play an exciting brand of baseball. There's some small ball in there. Excellent defense. You're getting good pitching, getting some offense, stolen bases. Like you have a lot of things that people like about baseball are happening right now, and the Cardinals are winning. So rather than the players deserve it, which I think they deserve to have 40,000 people at Busch Stadium, 50,000, whatever the hell it'll carry. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and tell fans you were wrong for not supporting this team.
Right.
Say it's exciting baseball right now. Get back out to the Busch Stadium.
I don't think that they deserve it. Maybe the players, they've been playing exceptionally well. But I don't think you're going to be able to tell fans who feel like for the last couple of years, this was not the organization that they were accustomed to just start showing up and believe it now. Right, so I think it's going to take some more time. I do agree with Jamie. They have been playing phenomenal. It's been good baseball. It's been fun to watch. You expect them to win games even when they give up 5 runs in the first or second inning. You're like,
mm-hmm. Right, Marshy?
Right, Marshy? Or Murray? And if not, you expect them to get back in the game. So it's fun to watch. But I don't know that that's a call for all fans to just come down to Busch Stadium in droves right now.
What do you guys think of, because I'm seeing this comment right now in the snake pit, on the text line, players deserve it, the owners don't.
Well,
saying that, yeah.
Okay, so here's my analogy.
So what do you got to do, sit at home forever then, till they sell the team?
Here's my analogy on that. To say that the players deserve it, the fans should go buy tickets and go and support them. The product determines. That's not how it works. The product determines whether or not somebody's going to invest their time in it. This would be like a restaurant opens up. The food isn't that good, but man, the service is good. The service is working hard. The people that are waiting the tables, tending the bars, things like that.
I think that would be the opposite.
They deserve it, right?
I think the food is good, but the service is terrible.
But I mean the product. But if the product isn't good, like if the food isn't good, the food is the product, right?
Yeah.
To a restaurant, if we're going to use this analogy.
That's what I'm saying. I think the players are the food in this analogy, and the owners is the service.
Okay,
if that makes sense. The food is great.
Okay, yeah. All right, how about this?
But nobody wants to go there because their service is
Let's clean it
awful.
Up. Let's clean it up. You're right.
Me? Up his ass? What?
No, got to be your bull.
What?
It's got to be your bull.
What?
Yes, the food. The restaurant, the product when the food wasn't good for a while.
Yeah.
Service wasn't great.
Yeah.
Service was like, hey,
We're here. It's food.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're
At
open.
least you're not starving.
Right, exactly. That's was.
Yeah.
So people stopped going.
Yeah.
The restaurant was good at one point. Mm-hmm. Service was great at one point. You felt like you're being taken care of. The product was good. The food was good. Over time, the restaurant stunk. And the owners haven't changed. Yet the food, you start to hear that the food is a lot better. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean you're going to rush back down there to support an ownership group that has not cared in previous years in terms of like putting the best food on the plate. It's going to take some time. I think eventually people will start showing up again. I don't like the term deserve it though. Like the players are out there, they're performing very well. The product is improving. I think over time people start to spill back into Busch Stadium. But it just doesn't work the way that is being kind of like demonstrated here. Hey, your Cardinals are 26-21. You should get back out there, you flea bag. Like it doesn't work that way. At least not to me.
You got a text from the 314 that says Brant Brown is the new chef. I like it. He's cooking up good meals.
They're playing well.
Yeah, they are.
Is he cooking or is the rat cooking?
Well, the rat. No, the rat could throw down.
Remy,
you didn't want to know that the rat was back there cooking.
I know, but everybody thought it was linguine cooking, but it was the rat.
Yeah.
I don't think they cared after a while. They just wanted to eat
they
that
didn't
food.
care in the end as long as they got good food. That's right.
True. Yeah. And we won't care as long as there's winning baseball.
There you go.
So it'll happen again. But I also don't think the fans are necessarily boycotting. I understand what Scott's saying here. But to end the boycott, I don't think fans are boycotting. I think
there's a certain level.
I don't think the product was good enough, and people stopped showing up.
In fairness, Anthony, in the off season, I think before the season started, I think people were wanting to not go to the ballpark to show their ownership group that they weren't happy. So they were boycotting-ish. When there's 7,000 people at some of those games at the start of the season, that's not the product at that point. We didn't even know what the product was at that point.
But we had an idea over the last couple of years.
Because you made up your mind already in the offseason.
Sure. And why wouldn't you?
I know, but that's a boycott of some sorts. We're not going to show up because this stink. And now you're like, holy crap,
it's semantics.
These guys don't suck.
Yeah. That should be the new motto.
Isn't it possible, though,
These guys don't suck.
them not doing anything was actually the right move?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, it was the right move. And you know what?
But people are mad that they didn't do anything. And
Absolutely.
I was a little upset, too. I was like, what are they doing
this
here?
This is the point that several of us were trying to make for years. Just because you go out, and I always used to use the warm blanket on a cold night thing.
What?
I used to say all the time. Them trying in the offseason was them going out and signing these players, and you temporarily felt good. Like, oh, my team is trying. Yeah. Were they the right players? You didn't care. As long as the team was spending money, then that's all that mattered. You felt good about it. And then the game started, and you're like, oh, those weren't great signings. Boo Cardinals. Like, you have to wise up about your spending. Are you spending on the right players? That was part of the issue. It's not spending, it's spending wisely.
Well, we got a text from the 618. The fans just want to make sure that the ownership isn't going to be content because this group of guys are doing well. They need to add in the offseason or the trade deadline.
Here's what people need to realize, okay? The ownership of any business that's successful doesn't necessarily care about somebody holding them accountable. Like them saying, we got to make sure the owners know. What? They're operating at such a high level of finances and revenues and all this stuff. Like, what does it matter? If the product is good on the field, which it is right now, your team is nipping at the heels in the National League Central. I know it's not the greatest division in baseball, but your team is 8-2 on their last 10 games, 7-2 on this 9-game road trip. It's something to be excited about. Get over the owners at this point, because as long as they own the team, then you'll never be happy watching the Cardinals if you don't like the ownership. So you have to overlook that at some point and go, you know what? I like this team. I'm going to go support the guys on the field. I know inadvertently I'm supporting the ownership because I'm buying tickets and hot dogs and beers and all this stuff. But you got to get past that, or you'll never ever be happy with the product that's on the field.
I mean, I think that the fans liked the ownership group when they were winning, National League pennants and going to the World Series and winning World Series. And, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to say that they screwed up. Mm-hmm. And now they're trying to fix it.
Marshy, here's what I'll compare it to, okay? Is you and Rachel, okay? A young couple, fun couple, great. Rachel's a very pretty girl, 20, 30, 40 years from now, you're still with Rachel. Let's just play the game. Both of you are not going to look the same way you did before, but are you supposed to not love her as much or her not love you as much? Right? So if the product, all of a sudden you're like, wait down the road. No, just go with what you know right now. You either love going to the games or you don't. Don't worry about the ownership.
So, John,
Marshy, you were supposed to say, yeah, I'm going to love her in 30 years.
Well, yeah,
I didn't want to commit him to that. That's our guy. You can't paint him into a corner.
He was going, and I thought it was a rhetorical question because it's an obvious yes.
Well, I'm trying to save you from a question you may get later.
No, Rachel understands.
It'll be fine.
All right.
John Score says Stalter literally just gave the definition of boycotting and said it's not boycotting, LOL. Jamie gave the definition of boycotting. My point was, boycotting is flat out a refusal or a protest because of disapproval. I think some people are boycotting.
Did you just pull that
yeah,
up?
I did. I think some people are boycotting.
He tried to play it off like he had that. Yeah.
Oh, no,
You Googled it?
I admit it, yes. Right here. Boycotting. The act of refusal to buy, because I wanted to make sure I was saying the right thing. I was trying to clarify.
Right.
And they said something as a form of protest or disapproval. I think some fans got bored with the product and they decided it's not for me anymore. That's different from a boycott as opposed to, I'm not going unless they do such and such, which is what Jamie described. So it might be semantics, but what don't you get?
I just don't like you tying my name to anything, okay? I can do that to myself.
You used the term boycott. You provided a definition of it, and I said, I think some fans just lost interest. It's much different than saying, I'm not going because of such and such, which is what you described.
Don't tell me what I said or what I didn't say.
Okay. How about I do this? This works. I'm wrong. You're right. John's right. I'm an idiot.
No.
You're all attractive. I'm ugly.
Well, thank you. You're not wrong about that.
You're smart. I'm dumb.
Hold on, because I know therapy. What you just did here, you're not supposed to do.
No.
You're gonna take the blame. You're gonna just
I'm gonna
flip
stuff it down.
Manipulate. No,
I'm gonna stuff it down deep inside.
100% manipulating it.
And then I'm gonna
get the sympathy card.
And
the exact opposite of what you're supposed
this
to do
is different.
in therapy.
I'm taking my rage and I'm stuffing it, and it's going to come out in other ways later.
Anthony, guess what? Then you can stuff it.
You're going to get a slap. You're going to get a slap. And you're not going to see it coming.
Okay. Why am I getting a slap?
Just because you're in the room.
Just because you're in the room.
Yeah.
The rage has to go somewhere.
Anthony, I love you.
It's too late.
Yeah, I think he's.
I love when I try to hold on. I really do. I love when I try to explain something and then it winds up being, oh, you didn't jump on Anthony's team. You know what? Go fast lane yourself, Jamie. And Carey, you haven't said a damn word. Go fast lane yourself. And Marsh, you've been really nice today. You go fast lane yourself. All right? Good. This is your fault.
Yes, we
all of you. Mostly Jamie's.
Yeah. Of course.
It's hot in here now.
It is hot.
It is really hot.
All right. Would adding at the trade deadline actually be a bad thing for the Cardinals? We're going to piggyback off of what Marsh just read in terms of that text. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you have not visited Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership, you need to. Genesis of St. Charles is right out there off of 70 at Mid-Rivers. Visit today. Stop by for their exclusive in-store offers. They have a large selection of new Genesis models in stock ready for you to take home today. The location is right off of Mid-Rivers Mall and 70. 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters. Let Genesis of St. Charles introduce you to the sweet life of benefits designed to exceed your expectations. If you haven't visited the Deluxe Lounge, it's awesome. They have all the new models, all the great cars. They have some of the best coffee you can buy in the world. You need to check it out. If you don't see the model or the color you want, they can find it for you and help you build your dream Genesis. Genesis owners get a complimentary scheduled maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles. Whichever comes first, get 24/7 luxury roadside assistance for 5 years, whether you need a change of tires, transportation to the nearest Genesis dealership, gas, or more. They got you covered. And if you have a busy schedule like me, you're unable to get in, you don't want to go in. Maybe you just don't want to do all of the things you need to do inside of a dealership. You never have to. You never have to step foot in their store. You can buy your new Genesis entirely online with clear upfront pricing, including trade-in, even have it delivered up to 100 miles from the dealership. So visit them today at genesisofstcharles.com. That's genesisofstcharles.com.
So Marsh read a text from our Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, toward the end of that last segment. That works well with one of the things that we want to discuss today, which is that would adding at the trade deadline actually be a bad thing for the Cardinals. Marsh, go ahead and read that text again.
Yeah, it says the fans just want to make sure that the ownership is not going to be content because the group of guys are doing well. They need to add in the offseason or the trade deadline.
Okay, but that again, we go back to the same thing before, where we're measuring whether or not the ownership cares based on the moves they make.
Yeah.
This is a very subjective thing. It's not like the Phillies when they added Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner. And they said, here you go, fan base. Top of the market, legit dudes. We just added them all to the roster. I don't think making moves like signing Dexter Fowler for 5 years or trading for John Lester, whatever, just making moves, I don't think that's really saying that the ownership cares. No. I just think that's kind of one, they're filling holes, they're addressing needs, but the fan base, you can't be pacified by that. It's got to be savvy moves. It's got to be Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty
Those are savvy, smart moves.
Yeah.
That's what's going to put the Cardinals over the top. Them making some trades at the deadline, some fans are going to be like, my ownership cares. And then when it doesn't work out, it's like, you made the wrong moves. Exactly. You have to make the smart moves, adding pieces that work, that fit for what how the team is winning or losing games. That's my opinion on this.
Yeah, look, if the Cardinals are in a similar spot, 2 games, a game behind the Cubs, or even a game ahead of the Cubs, something like that, I think if you make a move that sets you up for not just the back half of the season. Like Doug Armstrong was very deliberate in his moves where he said, I want to move, I'll make moves for players that are like their mid-20s or young players that I can have control over. Like, it's not just a one and done.
Right.
And so you go back to last trade deadline. What happened? Nothing. Nothing. Army did nothing. The ownership did nothing. Does that mean Tom Stillman and the ownership group don't care about the Cardinals or don't care about the Blues fans?
Yeah.
No. Well, no, it doesn't, actually, Anthony. It means that Doug Armstrong did.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's just a first.
I thought it was a rhetorical question, honestly.
Are you done?
Sure.
Okay. How are you laughing at?
I'm just
Finds it
listening.
funny.
He's like sitting in the weeds all day already today.
Well, that's what happens.
I'm
2 of us start
listening.
fighting. The other one just grabs the popcorn. Gary's grabbing the popcorn
Look,
today.
I almost forgot where I'm at right now. But my point is that the Blues didn't see a trade that made sense for the team now and moving forward. So the Cardinals have to be, I guess, given that latitude as well. If they don't have a trade that looks good now into next season or beyond, why would you make the trade? I'd rather give the reps to Alec Burleson, to Mason Wynn, to Victor Scott. Like, I'd rather give it to those guys. If I'm the Cardinals, I think I'd contemplate moving on from Nolan Arenado at the deadline, and with the idea of moving his money and getting whatever in return. I don't even care, because what I want to do then is find somebody who's going to play third base. If it's Nolan Gorman, let's give him the reps for the rest of the season. See how he does. I don't want Brendan Donovan moving from second base. I kind of like him there. I know we're going to talk about that at some point today, but leave that. That infield right now is playing unbelievable defense up the middle. Catcher position is always a bit of a question mark, but center field, shortstop, second base, pretty damn solid.
Yep.
And first base, pretty damn solid.
Yeah, I was wrong
right
about
now.
that for sure.
Well, I think we were all wrong about that. He looks really good. Arenado's playing very good defensively. You're not getting that production that you'd like, the slug anyways, out of him from that spot. But that would be something I would look to do, but that'd be a trade to open up so that a young player gets a chance, like the Brandon Saad move for Zach Bolduc to get more reps,
Right.
like that kind of a thing. That's where I would be okay.
I don't know. I think it just depends on where you are. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Just depends on where you are come trade deadline time. Again, what are you trading for? What do you need? What are you in need of in this moment? And I think it could change, in 2 months. You might have some injuries at some different places that you might need to, and you've been battling some things and you need to trade for that position. But right now, I think positionally, they're pretty much set. They got 4 catchers. You're good there. You got enough first basemen. You got a couple of guys that can rotate in and out of there. You got enough infielders. You got infielders that can play outfield. You positionally, I think you're pretty comfortable and confident in what you have. And I don't know if there's something that you could trade away that would bolster that lineup even more. What do you trade? Who is available that is a rental or that is looking for a new contract? Like, what is the motivation or what is the ultimate goal? So
you need power. You need a middle. You need a middle.
And where are you
going to
get that from? And what do you have to give up to get that? And how much
your
are you going
future.
to? There you
Right,
go.
right.
So trading at the trade deadline, because this season looks promising. I don't know if that's the move, like trading for something to get in return. Like if you end up trading, like Jamie said, you end up trading Nolan Arenado because you want to open up a position. Maybe Thomas Ajayce gets another stab at it, gets another chance. Maybe you say, okay, Nolan Gorman, here's the runway that we've been promising you. Sink or swim, figure it out. But I don't know that trading to get something of value in return, unless it's a true dominant starting pitcher. Okay, cool. Because you can never have enough of those, but positionally, I don't know what you would be looking for.
Yeah, I think if anything, you trade for bullpen pieces just to bolster that bullpen. Give some guys a little bit of time off, or at least not in like high leverage situations where maybe they don't succeed at that. Now you have some guys in the bullpen who are doing a really fine job, but it doesn't doesn't hurt to always have more arms in the bullpen. That's the only thing I can think of because you're not messing with this lineup right now. That's not the point of this season. I think, if anything, I promise, I don't know if anyone can hear that. It sounds like a fart. It's not mine.
Somebody's drilling.
Anyways, you could say that the Cardinals are ahead of schedule right now based on how they're playing. If they keep this up, you can say, "Oh, hey, we're ahead of schedule here. Mm-hmm. Let's not mess with anything. Let's just see how this plays out the rest of the year. And if we make the playoffs based on what we have right now, then we're ahead of schedule, and that's great."
Gator has a good point. You saw it. We're all over the place. Power, bullpen, starting pitching. Uh-huh. What does this team need most?
So I was going to combine Marsh and Carey, your two answers.
Okay.
Because they need all that. But to Carey's point, where are you right now as a franchise? If you're not willing to give up your future, you're not going to get middle-of-the-order power.
Correct.
And you shouldn't be about giving up your future. To Marsh's point, you're contending right now, at least in the NL Central. What's the easiest thing to grab that's not going to give up a lot? You're not going to give up your future for it. It is bullpen help. So I think that the Cardinals, because we're a ways away from the deadline. A lot of things can happen. But let's say the Cardinals are tied or in first place at the deadline. You can add bullpen help, stay the course, give your team an injection, and also avoid giving up future assets. It doesn't solve your power issue. It doesn't solve getting in the middle of the order of the bat, but that comes at a great cost. And yet you can still say, hey, we added something of significance at the deadline because you guys are playing well.
I think the thing that this team needs the most is time to figure it out. And right now we're seeing them slowly figuring it out. They scored 10 runs the other day. They didn't even hit a home run. Mm-hmm. Like that's happened multiple times this year where they've scored a lot of runs with no home runs.
Yeah.
And then they'll win a 3-2 game with all home runs.
Right. Or a 1-0 game with a home run.
I don't think they necessarily need like the power as much as we think we do because they're finding other ways to score and win games.
Sure.
I don't think it's necessarily as needed right now in this moment. Maybe in a few years that changes where then you've saved all this money and then you can go get that power bat. But I don't know if this team is in that spot right now to really need something like that.
Yeah. John Score says can't give the team an injection. That's illegal. You're right.
Only if they're caught.
Yeah. Well, depends on what type of injection.
Right.
Especially for like weight loss or something.
Yeah.
Pre-game injection usually gets you in the right spot.
Sure.
The pre-game injection.
Yeah.
Depends what it is, Carey.
Well, you know about it.
Right.
I do.
Not all injections are illegal.
But the ones you get before that game.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Battlehawks hang on to beat the Stallions. We'll dive into that dub. Boy, what an exciting game, especially at the end. But do they have enough offense? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, it's inevitable that all men, as they get older, testosterone starts to lower, especially the free testosterone. That's where mentality comes in. If you're out there right now driving around and listening to Anthony and I talk about things and you're feeling just tired, run down, maybe your energy levels aren't there, maybe your energy levels in the bedroom are non-existent, we've got a cure for you. And it's pretty simple. Visit our friends at Mentality, the board-certified physicians. They're going to talk to you and ask you what's going on. Just be honest about it. Tell them exactly how you're feeling, what's going on, and all that stuff. Then they're going to draw blood, and then that's where they get the formula for you. They create a program for you based upon your blood work results, and from that point on, things start to get better.
Stop settling. Jamie and I were settling for a long time. Stop settling for a fraction of your potential. Man, that's where mentality comes in. And you can visit mentalityhealth.com/radio if you want more information. But as Jamie just said, go down to one of the two locations, Chesterfield and South County. Sit down with their board-certified physicians. Talk to them about how you're feeling. Because if you are run down, if the energy levels aren't there, the workouts are, let's just say you don't even have the motivation. Flip that. All of a sudden, you feel great. You start eating better. That energy comes back. The motivation is there. You're focused. The anxiety and everything goes away, and you start to feel like you can attack the world again. That's where mentality comes in. So if you're older, look, it's all relative, right? Whether you're in your 50s, your 40s, even your late 30s, and you don't feel like you did just 5-10 years ago, there's solutions for you. It's mentality. They'll help you out. Raise those free testosterone levels, and all of a sudden you start to feel great. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. Mentality.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals have won they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. 2 games behind the Cubs for first place in the NL Central as they took 2 of 3 against the Kansas City Royals this weekend. They'll take on the Detroit Tigers tonight, and first pitch is at 6:45. The Battlehawks with a win this weekend, 29-28 over the Birmingham Stallions, and we'll dive into that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. As Marsh just mentioned, the Battlehawks hang on to a 1-point victory over the Stallions. I brought Kelly into the game. First Battlehawks game for him. And I'll tell you what.
Did he paint his face?
No, he didn't. But he did catch a towel from Excalibur. Who was walking.
Awesome.
Was walking the stands. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Killian put his hands up.
Got a T-shirt?
Caught a towel.
A towel.
Yeah, he threw a towel, a little small towel.
Yeah.
Killian, boom. Had the diamond out. Got
He
it.
did,
No
eh?
problem. Yeah, absolutely. So he was pretty fired up about
Good.
that. As the game got deeper in, I thought, because this is my first time this season going to a game. The people, everybody, they're into it. They're into it.
How many people were there?
I would say,
Like 20?
no, I think it was more than that. I think it was probably 27 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, almost.
I'm just wondering if it's still holding.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's my main takeaway being there. The people there, party scene, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Carey, I think you went to a game earlier this year. I'm sure.
About a month ago.
Okay, and was that remind me? Was that a Sunday? Was that a game? Was that a night?
Game. I'm trying to think who they play.
It was a Saturday afternoon game. They played
Marshall
the
was there.
DC Defenders.
Yeah.
Okay, so similar to the one I went to over the weekend. Yeah,
What did I say? It was Sunday afternoon. Is that what I said?
Sunday afternoon.
Was it Sunday? Was
Sunday
it the Defenders
afternoon.
we went to? Yeah, maybe.
DC Defenders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they lost that game. Yeah. That was the third game of the year.
All right, so you guys also saw an afternoon game. It was a party. It was a party scene. I mean, it was the people were into it. Everybody's wearing Battlehawk gear. I mean, head to toe. I forgot how many stoppages there are in football live. I'm so used to watching the Red Zone or the Battlehawks on TV. You forget how many stops there are, and guys are getting hurt. And I mean, it was a lot of time where you're just like, ooh, okay. They do a great job. We know Carly very well. Carly does some of the in-game stuff. The stadium product was really good. I do worry about the level of play in terms of whether or not it's sustainable outside of St. Louis. I'll just be honest.
The level of
Well,
play
we're finding out it's not.
Yeah.
meaning the ability of the players on the field.
Yeah, I mean, and they're not. It's not like they're promoting. It's not like the UFL is promoting that this is NFL caliber, football.
Right.
The players are good. Like they're a step below, obviously. But I even wonder stylistically if it can boom somewhere else. St. Louis has got good products. But I wonder elsewhere if there's enough passing, if there's enough explosive plays. I mean, Battlehawks had a pick six. There was a bunch of turnovers. The Stallions connected on a deep pass that I thought was going to bury the Battlehawks, unfortunately. But the credit to the offense, they went right down the field and scored, and then the defense ended it with a fumble recovery. But there were some bigger moments, and it was exciting. It was a close game. But I wonder if they're going to have to change some things to –
Like what?
attract a casual fan.
Like what?
I don't think there's
Because
enough.
football is football.
Right, but we've seen like the Arena League do some things where it's like they're high scoring games. Even the Canadian
Well, Canadian
league, where
Football League is totally different because the field is massive.
it's massive. You got the running starts.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. I just wonder if
Because I'm just wondering, like, the UFL is, I think the rules are almost completely intact with the NFL.
it is. Yeah.
So
in fact, the kickoff rule came from the UFL.
there you go. So if people love NFL football, they should love UFL football.
People love NFL
In theory.
players. Like it's a player driven game. I think it's based on the names, and that's what I was saying last week. When you have so much turnover and some of the names aren't the same, I think it makes it hard for people to want to watch as much as they want to watch NFL games. Because you want to see Justin Jefferson. You want to see him more than you want to see Hakeem Butler. Hakeem Butler is great for what he's capable of doing, but he's not Justin Jefferson. And that's no knock on Hakeem Butler. They're obviously two different players. But I think that's what it boils down to. I think the game is still the game. I don't think there's anything different in terms of the NFL product versus the UFL product. It's just the players. The players aren't maybe not as fast as a whole, Marshy. They're not collectively. They're not as strong, right? They're not all the top tier players to play in the league, and so I think that's the vast. And you'll see when guys are really, really good, they don't stay in the UFL or the XFL. They don't stay long. They're off to the NFL because their talent. There's such a talent discrepancy from NFL players completely, like the entire group versus the UFL players as an entire group. You have one or two that can make it 5 to 10 maybe, but as a collection, it's not the same amount of talent.
Do you think it hurts the UFL not having the players in their actual cities?
So we talked about this on Friday, and that was one of the points that I made.
I think it does, because if they were practicing here on a daily basis, we'd have much greater coverage of each player, a lot more sound bites on the social media.
Right.
People would become very familiar with certain
be out
players,
in the community,
personalities.
Yeah.
Let's say they'd be at a Cardinals game, they'd be at a Blues game, you're doing a signing over here, a camp over here, or a day thing where the kicker shows kids like so much stuff because that's what they do in the American Hockey League. And that's what the UFL is, really. It's minor league football. I love the Battlehawks, but it is what it is. I mean, those players are in that league for a reason, like you said, Carey. And the good ones, where do they go?
They get
the NFL.
Off. Correct.
They get brought up to the NFL, usually on the practice squad, and if they're lucky, they work their way up again through there. The American Hockey League, what they do very well is they familiarize the players with the community, like on a daily basis. They have things. They have players that go to schools and they do a reading clinic. They do a floor hockey clinic. They do, whatever it is. And then the kids from those schools get tickets. But they have to come with an adult. So the mom or dad has to buy a ticket now with a free ticket. And now you're getting more people to the games.
The Chicago Wolves did a great job of that. I remember being a kid and wanting to go see the Chicago Wolves, who your brother played for and you played for at one point. Because
we were both captains of the team.
You're damn right you were. They did such a great job. I remember Wolves players coming to the school and they were signing. And me as a kid, I'm like, I didn't know who,
You didn't care.
Exactly. It was just, Mom, Dad, I got to go see it.
You got the mascot there.
And it was affordable. It was affordable. The rink was in a good area. They found a way to connect to the community. I brought up the same point. I agree, Jamie. In fact, Killian even asked me to drive home and say, "Hey, can we go to a practice?" I go, "No, buddy, we can't. They actually practice in Texas."
So it limits the team on their marketing ability. So how much fun would it be to have, once a week there's a get-together somewhere at a bar or something where the Battlehawks players, one or two players, can show up, sign some autographs, and you've got to wear all your Battlehawks stuff to qualify to be in the bar. And the bar would be jammed because they're selling enough tickets at the games for people to be interested. And if it was Hakeem Butler showing up with another player, it'd be, oh my God, I want to meet Hakeem Butler. Show up there, they have signing, and it's blowing up. You see it on social media, and then it just gets more interesting.
Sure.
So I think that really hurts the league overall. And we're seeing that in other markets because other markets are now, we saw the announcement, they're moving games to St. Louis because their markets, they say, they have other stuff going on. But we know the truth. We know why it's happening.
Yeah.
We know why the UFL championship will once again be played in St. Louis.
Right.
And that's a problem for the league, not St. Louis.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Missouri River Otters. You brought up the Chicago Wolves. Like, I remember going to River Otter games all the time.
Yeah.
And, those were so much fun. I didn't really care about, the product that was there, but there were NHL players that would come and play during the lockout. And, it was a fun atmosphere. And, they had the giant otter that they'd skate out of. And, they had the big blimp that would fly around and drop tickets and stuff like that. Those games were really fun. As a kid, I had no idea what league that was.
Well, but here's the thing that they did very well, and this is what I was talking about, the American Hockey League did very well. And the UFL could totally capitalize on this. Is you go to schools, you get the young kids, and every kid, you say it's a, what school do your kids? No, you don't have to say that. Just let's say school X.
Yeah.
We're targeting school X and school Y in different parts of the cities. We're going to players visit there, and every kid in the school gets a free ticket to a Battlehawks game, but they have to be accompanied by an adult.
Yeah.
So now every kid who wants to go to this Battlehawks, I got a free ticket, Mom, Dad, we're going to the Battlehawks, and the mascot was there, and it was awesome, and can we go? Okay, son.
And make it affordable,
keep it affordable.
Yeah.
Then you get all the, let's say you get 100 kids out of all the ones that you give, 100 kids show up with 100 adults.
Right.
That's like Coach says all the time, bring a friend. But this is how you build the product, and now at the same time, you're introduce your players to your actual market.
I think you're absolutely right. I will say this, we'll end on this, but the people that were there at the end of that game, that's as loud as 25,000 people can make a dome. I'm dead serious. Like that, you could see we're in one of the end zones, and you could see the Stallions quarterback was having issues. Like people are banging on seats. They're loud.
It's the only stadium in the league that gets attendance.
It's the only one. So it's not a St. Louis thing. It's beyond St. Louis that the UFL is now facing. But it's obvious. Like Jamie said, look at the TV, look at the attendance numbers and things like that. It's not great. By the way, shout out, I forget his name, but one of the listeners of the show. We were walking out, and he had recognized me and said he loved the show. So appreciate you, man. It was nice to meet you. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Can versatility hinder success in sports? There's a Cardinals angle here, and I think it branches out to other sports too. I'll explain what that is next on 101 ESPN.
My buddy Derek Stevens, who is the founder of Circa Las Vegas, years ago, told me, said, man, I've got an idea. I want Circa to have the largest sports book anywhere in the world. Well, he did that with his casino, and now he's bringing it right to the palm of your hands. Circa Sports Illinois, the app, is available. Check it out on their website or any app store for that matter. And they've got the best odds out of any app that's out there. Check it out. Download the other apps, compare the odds. You'll find out that Circa Sports has the best odds, which equals the biggest payouts as well. And if I'm looking right now on the app, I look at a game tonight, Major League Baseball. The Mets are minus 123 on the money line. I like them over the Boston Red Sox tonight. So that would be my play because Circa always has tight money line splits. They've got great lines on their futures bets. They've got the player props, the parlays, anything you want to do, it's available for you. So please don't miss out on any of the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you're someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
So as I was watching Matthew Liberatore once again dominate, he looked good again yesterday. I was thinking about how the Cardinals, and Katie Wu wrote about this, how the Cardinals basically said, you know what, we're going to let Liberatore be a starter. We're going to commit to him just doing that. And we're not going to do this short-term success thing. We're going to ride this out. We're going to let him develop. But if you look at the Cardinals roster over the last couple of years, Mo at one point kind of prided himself on having versatility. Guys are going to play different positions. We can mix and match. The bullpen is going to be, you can mix and match in the bullpen. It's all about versatility, right? Not every player is Brendan Donovan. But let me ask you guys this, as the former professional athletes in the room. Does versatility hinder success? Brendan Donovan's one guy.
But even look at Brendan Donovan. Where does he excel?
Second base.
Second base.
Can he play left? Yes.
Yeah, can he play shortstop? Can he play third base? Probably.
Yeah.
Can he be a third catcher? Maybe he was going to try it one time.
Right.
But he excels. Gold glove capabilities at second base. And we're seeing it in real time. This last handful of games, I mean, my God, has he been good.
Yeah, that play that he made on Saturday. Outstanding.
So good. Mm-hmm. And the chemistry that he's got with Mason Wynn right now, like, if I'm the Cardinals, sorry, Nolan Gorman, but, like, the only chance you get is that DH. Mm-hmm. I'm not taking Donnie Boy away from second. But does it hinder success? I think it does. I think you can, let's keep it real here. Pavel Buchnevich, they thought he could play center, and that completely hindered his success, as well as the teams, I think, at that point. And they were trying to create two scoring lines. I understand the concept, and I don't hate them for trying to do that because he is such a smart hockey player. But when you play your whole life in one position and you can kind of sort of play another, that's really not where you're going to maximize the potential of that player. Mm-hmm. So if the Cardinals are talking about just moving guys around the diamond, but here's the problem that you have. If you're a Cardinals fan and you don't like the versatility, the problem is guys like Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan, now Wilson Contreras, like all of these, Alec Burleson, he can play right field, he can play first base, he can DH. You have a plethora, that's a great word, by the way.
That's a great word.
Not bad, of utility-ish type players. Mm. Gorman's a third baseman, but he plays second base. Donnie Boy, we just talked about, he play anywhere in the field. You've got so many guys that can play so many positions that it's tough. I think the Cardinals are a bit of an outlier, because most teams can't do that. Mm-hmm. Most. I'm sure there's a couple around the league that still have some good utility guys that play all over the field. But it does hinder your success to a certain extent because, Carey, you're a running back your whole life, and then you played fullback in the NFL.
Not by choice.
Not by choice. I was a left defenseman. Get to the NHL, I was playing left, right, left wing, right wing, center, wherever they needed me to play, I played. But did it hinder my success? Of course it did. Kept me in the league, but at no point did I separate myself from any other player or really help the team to maximum my ability because I wasn't playing in my actual natural spot. Right. So, yes, I think it can, but I do think the Cardinals, because of the way they've done this and the players that they've gotten, are a bit of an outlier.
I think it can hinder success. I think if you look at Brendan Donovan, just take him by himself, him playing second base the majority of the season thus far, what has he done at the plate? Like, this is the best season he's had at the plate because you're focused. You know what your job is. This is one of the things that we talked about with having a stagnant lineup, knowing where you're going to play, not coming to the clubhouse, not coming to work every day, and not knowing, okay, am I in left field today? Right. Am I going to be at shortstop tomorrow? Oh, we got this pitcher. I mean, we got this batter, this lineup. I got to go play second. Like, not knowing day to day where you are, it can, and it's no knock. I mean, being able to be versatile and do multiple things does keep you in the league longer. Sure. But I think him finally having one solid position, you're seeing the best version of Brendan Donovan at the plate and in the field because he doesn't have to focus on so many other things. He has played some games in left field, but predominantly every single day when he comes to the ballpark, he knows I'm going to be at second base, I'm going to be batting third in the lineup, and you get to see guys flourish in their best at their best times because they know exactly where they're going to be.
Yeah, and by the way, like, Carey, you just kind of hit on this a little bit. I'm not talking about from a player. This isn't from a player standpoint, because if you're a player, you got to figure out whatever the team needs, right, and maximize your value. I'm talking about this is from the team's perspective.
The versatility?
Yeah. Can you find the best player for that spot? The best player in your organization for that spot? If not, it also creates a clear need for the front office. Hey, we need a first baseman. We need a third baseman. We don't have that guy right now in the organization that can play at that spot, as opposed to shoehorning team players in, which is what I feel like the Cardinals have done. Is like, hey, we're gonna pride ourselves on having versatility. Okay, well, not everybody's Donovan. Not everybody's Chris Taylor, who just got released by your Dodgers, Carey. You know, somebody that at one point played a variety of positions. Not everybody's Tommy Edman,
right?
Who
played a variety of positions.
Got activated, which
caused
allowed
Chris Taylor to lose his job.
Exactly. So, I think having Liberatore said you're not going to be a reliever anymore. You're going to be a starter.
Right.
Now I can prepare to be a starter, not just in the offseason, but my preparation is different. I know exactly what the team is asking of me.
I think teams in front offices and managers, you want to have guys that have versatility, but you shouldn't have a team full of versatile guys.
Right.
Because the master of many, what is it?
Jack of all trades,
master of none. There you go. So you got a bunch of guys that are capable of doing a multitude of things, but no guys that are set and know exactly what their job is every single day, solidified in their role. And I think the Cardinals have kind of made that shift. They don't have so many guys that are as versatile. You got outfielders that can play, left field, center field, right field. That's fine. But having guys that go from second to short to third to outfield, they don't have a lot of those guys. They got a couple. They got Brendan Donovan and Jose Barrero, who we've seen him play center field one game, and we've seen Brendan Donovan play in the outfield as well. But for me, just having guys that know what their role is. Mason Wynn is your shortstop. He's not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
Wilson Contreras is your first baseman. He's not playing anywhere else. Pages is not going to be talked about, we're going to put him in the outfield. No, he's your catcher, right? Ivan Herrera can play catcher and DH. But for the most part, you know exactly where these guys are going to be. Jordan Walker is not going to go in the infield at anytime soon, nor is Victor Scott. Victor Scott's going to be your center fielder. Jordan Walker's going to be your right fielder. So I'm confident and more comfortable with how the Cardinals have things set up now in comparison to what it has been, where you had so much versatility and you deemed it like it was a great thing, but it really wasn't, because you got guys all over the place. And now I think guys are solidified in their role, and you're seeing a better version of it.
That's Carey Davis. He pitched a segment idea earlier today that will no doubt frustrate Mizzou fans while making Illini fans feel pretty good. Are Mizzou and Illinois heading in opposite directions, football-wise? That's next on 101 ESPN. When it comes to hiring the right remodeling team, go with Mosby Building Arts. You don't want to be in a situation where you're hiring a company that comes in to work on your bathroom or your kitchen or whatever, and maybe you're going out of town for vacation. You're like, you know what, this is going to be great. When we come back, it's going to be fantastic. And all of a sudden, the communication drops. You don't know what you're paying for anymore. Maybe the contractors are constantly doing things other than working on your project, your remodeling job. Maybe the cost continues to go up, which is just, quite frankly, it's dishonest. A company says, hey, we can do this job for this amount of money, and then before long, they keep adding more labor on top of the cost, because they're saying, oh, well, it's good. You know what? Bigger project than what we thought. Mosby Building Arts, they don't do that. They've got honest pricing. Whatever the pricing is at the start, that's what it's going to be, unless there is a massive issue or something that's just a complete exception. Otherwise, again, honest pricing. They don't disappear halfway through the job like some other remodelers do. Designers with great taste. So if you're designing a kitchen, design it to what you want and work with an expert. That's Mosby Building Arts. So don't risk hiring the wrong team. Call Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company, at 314-909-1800, or visit callmosby.com to schedule your free consultation today, and you can see the difference for yourself. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. 3:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey, I'm pretty sure you put this in there for yourself, but by the way, Nick Sirianni agreed to a multi-year extension with the Eagles.
The real
today.
Italian, right?
The real Italian.
There you go.
I'm the fake one.
He looks like he could be related to you, though, Anthony. He does.
Anthony said he was
I
not
said
a
some
real
horrible
Italian.
things.
Before the Super Bowl.
I said some horrible things about Nick Sirianni. Super Bowl winner.
Well, don't take him back now.
Go Eagles.
There you go, Anthony. Proud of you.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I have to, honestly.
Oh, I like it better when you dig your heels in.
Keep digging.
I can't do anything about them winning the Super Bowl.
Late.
Carey, go ahead.
This is a feel-good topic for me.
He said,
You know what?
I have never seen
So
him this
listen.
excited.
My daughter graduated from Mizzou on Saturday, so my alliances to the Mizzou Tigers, done. Cut off.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Even though she graduated from Columbia.
I paid all the money I needed to pay.
Yeah.
She's out of there. She's done. I'm done. So here we go. Mizzou, I was just minding my business last week and saw some news that was shocking to me. Mizzou football loses 2026 commitment. Recruiting class drops to 2 players. That was on Friday, Thursday or Friday. It's down to one player now. The 2 players that they had, the 3 players that they had, 2 of them are no longer committed to Missouri. And the question that I posed to the group was, are Illinois and Mizzou going in vastly different directions? Right now, Illinois, for the class of 2026, they are top 11 in the country. Number 12, 11 or 12 in the country in the recruiting class that they have. And for those that don't know, the lifeblood of your program is going to be the young men that you recruit to try to get them in on your team, on your roster, and continue to move forward. And right now, Mizzou they only have one player, a quarterback out of Florida, that they have set to commit and sign on signing day in December of this year. Just one player. They are number 84 in the country, which there are some teams that have no players committed, which would put them under Mizzou.
Not great.
And so what I said was, a couple of years ago, after Mizzou beat the Ohio State Buckeyes, the version of the Ohio State
That was a big win,
Buckeyes.
Carey.
Huge.
Yeah, none of those guys played before. But either way, when they beat them, they went into last season with extremely high expectations. Mizzou was slated. They should have won 10 games, bare minimum, and should have been a team that's in the college football playoffs. And this is why I say it's so important for each year for your team to capitalize off of the momentum you have, the best players that you have, because your team changes every single year. Brady Cook's not back. Luther Burden's not back. Your team is going to be different, obviously, than it was last year. And that team was expected to win 10, 11 games. They were unable to, and they were unable to make the college football playoff. And now you're sitting here with a recruiting class of 1 player for the following year, for next year. Whereas, conversely, Illinois, a team that has been struggling, won 10 games last year. Right? Only the 4th time in Illinois history that it's happened. Ain't happened since 2001.
Commercial right now.
I was there. I was on that team in 2001. It's the last time they won 10 games. They are, and I told you this, Anthony, Heather Dinich, who covers college football and talks about them, all the time and teams and players, mentioned that she believed that Illinois could be the Indiana of this year. Make the college football playoff, make a run where people don't expect them to. So when I'm watching Illinois football and the way that they're going, plus my guy Brett Bielema just signed a 6-year contract. He's going to be there for a little bit longer. I'm looking at the 2 teams, the 2 universities, the 2 schools, the programs, and how just last year we were both kind of in the same spot, and now it feels like it's going in opposite directions.
It does. And this is what success does for you. This is why Mizzou was ahead of Illinois for quite a while, especially under Eli Drinkwitz. Mizzou was having success. The program was starting to gain momentum. Last year hurt.
It hurt.
Bottom line, when they went to Texas A&M and they lost in College Station, it felt like the air was let out of the balloon. And the momentum kind of halted. And Mizzou, unfortunately, especially offensively, they just couldn't figure it out.
Nope.
And Illinois was surprised. They were. I don't think, Carey, you thought
it was a surprise.
Yeah, you thought they were going to be as good as they were. But what happened? They beat Kansas in week 2. They started to gain that momentum because Kansas, I believe, was ranked at the time, or at least they were ranked the week before.
Yep.
And Illinois started to gain some momentum. it's about wins and losses. Yes, it's about recruiting. That is the lifeblood. But when you win, you're attractive. When you lose, you're not.
Yeah.
The apathy sets in. So yes, I do think that it's fair to say that Illinois' football program and Mizzou's football program are headed in opposite directions right now. There's more uncertainty with the Tigers than there is Illinois right now.
Yeah, I feel like there's really not much buzz surrounding Mizzou, and Carey's right. Like, never mind Illinois. Like, I get it. Carey's going to be cheering for his Illini. And
They're a local team.
yeah, and I'm fine with that, Carey. But if we
3.5, 4.
if we isolate Mizzou, they've had some hype, especially under Eli Drinkwitz with the way he's able to recruit, whether it's recruiting kids into the school or transfer portal or whatever it is. It seemed like they were like a snowball rolling downhill, just picking up speed and getting bigger all the time. I don't feel that this year at all. In fact, I don't even know what to expect out of this year's team. And that's not good. No, it's not good. And to be determined what Illinois ends up doing too, I think that's that's 6-year commitment to the head coach. That's a massive commitment that I don't know I'm sure about that either. I'd like to see the details of that contract to see.
Well, it was a 6-year deal.
Yeah, I know, but there's certain years where the buyouts are cheaper than other years.
Don't worry about those.
You love focusing on that when it comes to Belichick. I'm not your own guy. So that he could read it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who, Belichick?
No,
Yeah. So his girlfriend could read it, I'm sure.
she used the
We're
crayons.
not talking about that.
She loves crayons.
So we got to text
Color inside the
3636.
lines and everything.
CDC, you should know. CD, you should know. Recruiting is not what it used to be in the new era of college football. 26 class means nothing. These kids commit and decommit all the time. I do know that. Transfer portal is the priority now, not high school kids like it used to be. 100%. The other part of that is you can't survive solely on transfer portal kids. And here's why. Most of those transfer portal kids are leaving situations for a multitude of reasons. Some of it, they don't like the coach where they were at. They don't want to be coached hard. They weren't good enough to get on the field. So you're not always getting a kid that transfers in from an Oklahoma or from a Texas or from a Wisconsin that is, oh, he's a ball player.
Or Tennessee.
Tennessee. Sometimes they are. But sometimes they are a problem, and that's why they left that school. And the coaches on the other end are like, thank God, I'm glad he's gone.
Right.
So if you want to survive solely off of transfer portal kids, good luck. Because I don't think that that's a recipe for success. Because like I said, a lot of those kids are on their third, fourth school sometimes, and it's difficult for them to kind of get built into what the current school is doing. Like you already have your mindset up in who you are and how you take care of your business. So for me, it's just an interesting way to watch college programs try to succeed. You do have to recruit your own backyard, and you do have to recruit high school kids, and your classes have to help kind of the foundation, and then you add on with the transfer portal kids.
Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're going to talk to Jeremy Rutherford one last time before he heads into the offseason, and then we'll only check back with him, big offseason news and some training camp. But JR will kind of put a bow on this Blues season next on 101 ESPN.
time for the Rutherford Report on 101 ESPN.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey, here we go.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're going to talk to our guy, Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic. He's our Blues insider, and we're going to chat with him one last time before he heads into the offseason. JR, how are you?
Let's put a bow on it, boys. How you doing?
Yes,
it's
sir.
been all season long, guys. Thanks a lot.
JR, I want to clarify something here early. As the last time you're on these airwaves, you ambushed me, quite honestly, talking about how I don't ever like your report cards. These guys drew it out for a week, talking about how much I can't stand your report cards or shredded to pieces.
Yeah, that's true.
And I did none of that this year, JR. None of it. Explain yourself now.
Yeah. And, hey, listen, I'm an avid listener, as you guys know. I think my phone beeps all the time and says that I won some award because I've listened so many hours this week. But I actually did not hear if you had a chance to say anything. So, in a nutshell, did you agree, disagree? Did you think anywhere off the board there?
I thought overall it was pretty bang on. For real. I did. I thought there was a couple that could be tweaked. But again, that's like splitting hairs. There was nothing that jumped off the page to me to where I was like, man, he's just way off on that. I did not feel that way.
Okay, sounds good. I got the Riv approval there.
Yeah.
You did. We
that's
grilled him
worth.
too. We did grill him to make sure he was on board, and he was. He agreed for the most part.
Yeah. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, here's the thing, JR. He just we tipped off everybody to his anger toward your report cards, and now he's trying to act like, oh no, I
You
agree
guys
with
act
all
like
of them.
JR's Dom Lasician. That is not the way. That is not it at all.
Hey, the thing here is Riv actually does the report card for me, and this is some huge cover-up.
So let me handle these. By the way, I want to read a couple of these. So Splashback Deuce from the Snake Pit says, great work all year as usual, JR. Thanks for everything. Gator Echo, hey, thank you for your Blues coverage all season, JR. Great job, man. The Snake Pit salutes you, says
There you
Gator. So just want to throw you some
Snake
praise.
Pit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
All right, so Marshy told me that you're going to revisiting some bold predictions from earlier in the season. This is always a fun project. Give us a bit of a tease. What was the one that really stood out as being right, and what was the biggest miss?
Yeah, it's up today at The Athletic, and, we did 10 in the preseason, so last October, and then we did 10 more in January at the midseason. So I reviewed all 20 of them. And one, kind of sticks out. Colton Parayko is off to a pretty good start, and I just said, you know what, this guy's going to have a career offensive year. You can just see the way he's playing. He's going to put up big numbers. So kind of predicted that he would score the most goals and put up the most points in his career, and he did do that. But you guys know, as you're revisiting things, you forget about what you actually wrote. And so when I pulled up the article and I started to scan down, and I hadn't seen the article in months, it's like, okay, what else did I write? Kind of squinting as I'm reading the article, and I get down and it says, Brandon Saad will stay in St. Louis. Like, oh, man.
You're doing so good.
Yeah.
So good. I was doing so good up until that point. So, there's a few that hit kind of close, but probably more. I think I was 8 for 20 or so. So I don't know what the percentage is.
You're a Hall of Famer in baseball.
Yeah, no kidding.
So a few, but yeah, if you could check out the article, you'll see all the other ones that I missed out on.
JR, what do you think the Blues? What do you think their offseason looks like? I know we heard that that Army wanted to potentially add a 200-foot scorer, a guy that can do all of those things. What do you think realistically it looks like for the Blues this offseason? Is there a player in your mind that you think they will actively go after?
Yeah, Carey, I just think that, like he said, what Doug said is that they do want to go after that 200-foot offensive player. I think they need that guy. I liked their forward group this year. They got a lot out of them compared to you go into the season, you think it can be okay. But I think they need a finisher, and I've said recent weeks, is that Snuggerud, is that Bolduc? Can those guys be that guy next year? I think big picture they probably need another guy who can fit that. Obviously, we've seen Mitch Marner in the playoffs live up to expectations. That's going to be way too much for the Blues' blood. But there's going to be some players out there, and you guys have tossed some names around, Bennett, so on and so forth. I just think we have to wait till we get a little bit closer to free agency because, like Doug said, you can want a player, and he does like some of these players in free agency, but then they sign with their team a week before free agency. And so we'll put some articles out in the weeks leading up to that. identifying some players that the Blues might have interest in. But I think at this point, it's probably too close because these guys could still re-sign with their teams.
JR, how long do you think it takes Doug Armstrong to nail down extensions for Broberg and Holloway? Basically eliminating them from the restricted free agent offer sheet the following offseason. And also, getting ahead of if they have career years again, the price tag goes up on those boys. And also, how realistic do you think it is that a Cam Fowler extension might happen?
Yeah, with Broberg and Holloway, that's priority number 1 and 2. I think it's got to be. And just to give some context to the listener here is because those guys signed 2-year offer sheets, you can't re-sign them until after July 1st. They have to be in the midst of the final year of the contract, and that's going to start on July 1st. So you have to wait until then. Have they had talks yet? We don't know. The big thing with these guys is, and I'll ask you, Riv, do you commit the 8 years to both of them? And I think people, Blues fans, probably have seen enough where you say, yeah, 23 years old, give me 8 more years of both of those guys. But I think you start to think about how much is that going to cost? Like, is Broberg going to want $8-9 million? Are you going to have to pay $7-8 million for a Dylan Holloway for 8 years on both of those guys? I think that's the bridge you're going to cross. And if the Blues don't want to go to that kind of term quite yet, do these two players accept not necessarily a bridge deal, but a shorter term deal than an 8-year contract? So I think that's probably everything that these both sides are going to go through over the next couple months.
Yeah, JR, I think it's a no-brainer, man. I really do, because I think Holloway and Broberg just starting to scratch the surface of what they can be. If I was Army, I've said it on these airwaves, I'd go 8 times 8 right now. Give them both $8 million, 8 years. They're youngsters. They're only going to get better. You will have them for the prime of their careers, even at the tail end of a contract. How often do you say that? At the tail end of an 8-year deal, you'll have an athlete in his prime. You don't say that very often. So I think it's a no-brainer.
And the main reason I'll agree with you here is because just watching these players like you and I did on a daily basis, you can kind of see the guys who might be a flash in the pan, the guys who, hey, they got some puck luck or they scored the high percentage number of shots. They had 18% shooting percentage, therefore they scored 35 goals. Like, that's not these two guys. These two guys you can see the hard work they put in. You can see the consistency. You can see, the way they work with teammates. There are just so many factors into, I think, signing a player to long term and how big of a gamble it is. And I don't think it's a gamble with either one of these players.
Jeremy Rutherford joining us right now on the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Jared, what's a question? What's kind of an under-the-radar question that you have about the Blues heading into the offseason?
Yeah, I think a couple things maybe come to mind is, what are they going to do with the bottom six? Is Sundqvist going to come back as your third-line center? Do you upgrade at center? Does it push Braden Shen down to the third line, or does he stay in the second line and try to relive that chemistry with Holloway and Jordan Kyrou on that second line? And then also, can you get Radek Fox assigned, which it seems like there's a chance of that happening. So do you keep that fourth line intact that was so good this year? I think that's kind of the developing story that's a little bit under the radar. And then I think the bigger one is back on defense, and that's, I know Doug Armstrong said that the top four is set ... for now, but how do they approach this summer in terms of potentially moving a Leddy, a Falk, one of those types of players? Do they come back with this same group of six? Do they re-sign Ryan Suter? I know that's way on the back burner, but just what do they do with kind of the second, third pair, seventh defenseman type thing coming back for next season? Then I'd throw one more in there, a little bit under the radar. Joel Hofer, restricted free agent. What kind of contract do they give him? What does it signify for the future with Jordan Binnington having a couple years left on his contract? What's that goalie situation shape up like?
JR, I'm sure you've been keeping up with the playoffs. Who do you have in the Stanley Cup final? Do you have a rematch, or do you think that Dallas is just too good for Edmonton to find a way to make it through?
Yeah, it's really shaping up to be a good Final Four here. And I like Florida. I think the way that they've been hardened over the past couple of years, obviously winning a cup, but even before they got there, just became a hardened team. And then, the way they've played the past couple of years, especially the past couple of weeks, being down 2-0 against Toronto. And then I like Dallas. So, I think give me a Florida-Dallas Stanley Cup final and, coin flip there. But with Dallas getting Heiskanen back and getting healthier, and Ottinger just playing terrific. I think that Florida could maybe take that one against the Panthers.
Jared, great stuff. Again, we echo what the guy said in the Snake Pit. Thank you so much for your coverage on the Blues this season and right here on 101 ESPN. We're looking forward to an off season with you, talking some big signings or at least some moves, and obviously training camp, as you know, is always right around the corner.
Yep. We'll get ready and talk some draft with you before too long.
Excellent. Thanks, Jared. We'll see you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Yep, see you.
That's Jeremy Rutherford at JP Rutherford online. Check out his great work at The Athletic, including his latest article on his bold predictions and whether or not some of the things came true. And I thought he did pretty well looking at the article. So our Sports Six-Pack Part 1 is up next. 314-399-9646. We have the lineup. Let's do the lineup.
Oh, wow.
Pause.
Exciting.
Pause. Lineup is out. Cardinals are hosting the Tigers. 2006 World Series rematch. And we got the lineup next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update. Brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We just got done talking with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Cardinals took 2 of 3 against Kansas City over the weekend, and they'll take on the Detroit Tigers tonight. First pitch is at 6:45. The lineup is out, so we'll play the lineup game next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
That means it's time to play the lineup game ahead of tonight's Cardinals and Tigers matchup. It's game 1 between the two clubs. Sonny Gray looking to bounce back, had a rough start in his last game, versus Sean Gunther, who's a left-handed pitcher for the Tigers. An LHP, they call him.
Gunther, huh?
Yeah. Now, Carey, are you Gunther?
Is it the wrestler?
Yeah. Carey, are you locked in? Because I feel like you're going back and forth with Peeps in the snake pit.
I'm always locked in. As I just told Ryan Crawford, I can do multiple things at once. I think that's a tough concept for him to understand.
Whoa.
But I'm capable of doing multiple things. Now Ryan is he's an interesting guy.
Well, what happened? What did he say?
He's just look, Carey trying to change the narrative now. I'm able to do multiple things.
What was your narrative, Kate?
I don't know what Ryan's referring to. Don't really care.
Wow.
Yeah. Ryan is a guy that thinks that he's the smartest in the room.
Oh.
Maybe he is, and he probably should find a better room to be in.
Oh, are you kicking him out of the snake pit?
No, I'm not saying, no, he's not the smartest person in that room. Definitely not.
Okay.
But in every other room that he's in, I think he thinks he's the smartest person in that room. And I've always been taught, Jamie, I know you know this as well, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a different room to be in.
Yes.
I think Ryan sits in that room and basks in the glory of it. That's what I think. It's my opinion.
Wow.
I believe that.
Strong feelings.
I feel
on a Monday.
Yeah.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Show us Lars Taylor Tatsui. New
international superstar.
I meant it to be that way, Jamie.
I hope so. If you did, you nailed it.
Thank you.
If you didn't,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Me? Go ahead.
Please.
Show us Mason win.
Second, bring me that up.
May I?
Yes.
Please do.
Show us Johnny Baseball.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
All right.
Yeah, you do it. With confidence as well.
Show us.
Nolan Arenado.
Surprise, surprise.
Thank goodness. It's about time.
Don't you speak on my third baseman that way.
It's about time. He should be batting 8th.
What?
Wow. This should be Herrera right here.
Go for it.
It doesn't.
No, you do it.
Go for it. Yeah. Come on.
You believe.
Show
You
us
said it.
Ivan Herrera.
You're wrong.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Who the heck is this? Is it Wilson Contreras?
Probably
Yeah.
just bumped him up.
Yeah, show us.
Just bumped him out.
Boy, you guys. What's the deal?
I'm mad at Ollie, and I just projected that on you.
I appreciate
okay?
the honesty.
I apologize for
It's
that.
all good. Apology accepted.
It's Ollie's fault.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
You don't know how to play first
There you
base.
go.
It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
All right, so I think this is Herrera then. You just bumped him
I'm
up.
not going to say a word. You do it this time.
You think, where do you think Nolan is?
I don't know.
Okay.
But if you bumped up Contreras, I think you just bumped up Herrera.
I think Arenado's getting a day off.
Yeah, maybe he's just getting the day off.
Okay.
It's a long trek from Kansas City.
I mean, it's a 4-hour drive.
Bus lights are terrible.
Show us. Are we good with Herrera? I don't want to.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead,
All right.
Anthony.
Show us Yvonne Herrera.
Oh, Yvonne? That's a French-ass name, Yvonne. Yeah, my little croissant, little cheese on my croissant.
We had questions of where that's from.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Who
from
is that?
that is from Mad TV.
Yeah.
And it's excuse me, may I talk to you for a minute? It's the Can I Have Your Number?
Oh,
Where they're sitting in the
My little croissant.
What's your name, Delicate? You know.
I don't know if I've seen that sketch.
Oh, it's so
I've seen
funny.
Mad TV, but I don't know if I've seen that one. All right. Anyways,
Can I have
we
your
at?
number? Like,
okay.
it's pretty funny.
Got it. So number 6.
Is this Arenado? Is he in or is he out? Or is this Gorman in his place at third
There's a
base?
lefty pitching. It ain't Gorman.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right,
good
Carey.
call. So
Good call, Carey.
it's probably Arenado.
It should be Arenado right here.
You do it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Show us.
Nolan Arenado.
A lot of people think you get in your
Nice
mid-30s
job.
and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
All right, is this a one of the catchers? Since Yvonne is probably DHing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pajes, Pozo.
Yeah.
I think it's who played yesterday? Pajes, right? Day game though, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I still think it's Pajes.
Or did they?
I'm working my way through it.
Or is it Jordan Walker?
And I'm sharing my opinion,
Hey,
which is what I thought we were doing, having this conversation. Boy, you're still pissed at Ollie, not me.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Sorry again.
At some point, the sorry's just, it don't matter.
What do you mean? I was told if I asked for forgiveness that the good Lord would forgive me. Okay?
I'm not the good Lord.
Oh,
we
you
all know
certainly
that.
think you are.
All right.
Tell me about his halo. You tell me about my
He's from
halo.
Chicago, too, just like the new Pope. You know, just ask him.
Or New York. Or San Jose.
Detroit.
Or Detroit.
All right.
Pozo played yesterday, by the way, not Pajes.
Oh, that's right.
Pajes here.
Pajes, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Show us Pedro Pajes.
What a shame.
I said Jordan Walker, and nobody listened to me.
I didn't even hear you say
Jordan
it.
Walker. I said it.
Go Jordan
you
Walker.
two people were arguing.
What do you mean by people?
You two people. One person, two
We
person.
didn't hear you.
I don't
Listen,
like the way
Carey,
you're saying that.
we didn't hear you. Okay? Now, if you're ticked off still at Ryan Kramer
Yeah, don't drag
or
that.
NY, why don't you be picking on us?
Show us Jordan Walker.
Oh, wow.
That's ridiculous.
That is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you feel good now?
I don't.
Okay, so
So maybe Herrera is
Burleson.
catching. Herrera is catching.
Then who's going to DH? Is this Burleson in here? That'd be kind of low in the order, wouldn't it? He's a lefty on the bump. Although Ollie did say he didn't care about that against Burley.
We already said Walker. We've already said Pajes.
You don't think Pozo batting playing 2 games in a row?
No, I don't think it's. I don't think it's Pozo. Pozo. So who else would it be if it's not Burleson?
It's got to be Burley.
Yeah. Show us Alec Burleson.
You're already acting like you're a star, and we haven't even opened yet.
So this is either Jordan Walker or Pedro Pajes.
It's Jordan Walker.
You think so?
I think it's Walker and then Victor Scott.
Okay.
Yeah. Show us Jordan Walker.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Walker's out too.
Guy hits a game-winning home run, just doesn't play.
Yeah, but he didn't hit one yesterday.
He didn't play.
That's what, well, Marshy's theory. As soon as he plays well, you got to bench him.
This is the dumbest idea.
Got to keep him down, Carey.
I think this is
Pajes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Show us Pedro Pajes.
Smithers, throw this at him.
Wow. What a weird lineup.
You're out.
Maybe.
Okay, this has got to be Victor Scott, right?
Yes, I would think so.
Show us Victor Scott, please.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Ollie just throwing it at the wall, huh?
Man. All right, Marshy, run it.
All right, leading off
Please.
in left field. Lars Batting second, a shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting third, second baseman, Brendan Donovan. Your cleanup hitter, first baseman, Wilson Contreras. Batting fifth, the DH, Ivan Herrera. Batting sixth, third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Batting seventh in right field is Alec Burleson. Batting eighth in catching, Pedro Pajes. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott the second.
Back. Stay fair! Go fair! I don't believe what I just saw! Home run!
All right, Marsh, what are the latest standings?
All right, so no home runs hit on Friday. So CD still in the lead with 6 points. Jamie 5, Anthony 4, and I'm in last with 3.
Well, you hit that 3 early on.
Yeah.
Might have been the first or second game of the year.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Yeah. Give me a Von Herrera.
Okay, Jamie.
Okay, let's go with Contreras.
I will take Donnie Baseball, Brendan Donovan.
I think Nolan Arenado is going to hit a home run tonight. He gets moved down in the order, maybe a little fast lane.
That's romantic.
Yeah.
The old romantic.
Baseball is romantic. So give me Nolan Arenado.
Okay.
Are we going to update our home run numbers? Who's getting what? Because we had some confusion. Mason Wynn was a three-pointer, so I thought.
Mason Wynn was never a three-pointer.
Yeah.
He should have been.
I don't know why he wasn't.
When the game was introduced, Mason Wynn was not even a power
We
hitter.
all agreed on the thing. I have it right here. I took a picture of it.
Okay, where is it on the dock, though?
I didn't delete it.
If it's not on the dock,
it doesn't
count.
I'm going to have to go
I'm
through
looking
this
at it
whole
right
book.
here.
Yeah.
April 1st, 2025. Home run derby. Arenado and Contreras equals 1 point. Wynn, Burleson, Gorman, Donovan, Newt, 2 points. Everyone else, 3.
If it's not on the box, then it must say it on the box.
Carey, what's your problem ultimately?
Mason Wynn
was
like 15 home runs
that was
last year.
Yeah. It's a three-pointer this year.
This is this year.
Things change, Mox.
I thought he was a 3.
By the way, I saw a Moxon jersey at the Battlehawks game.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Come on.
It was awesome.
That's pretty fun.
I wanted to shout out. Things change. You're the starting quarterback now. All right.
This is the Cardinals' best lineup.
Is it? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis with a big deal from Window Nation. Right now, you'll save big during Window Nation's semi-annual sale. How big? If you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free and a free exterior door when you get a whole house of windows. Now, that is a big deal. Plus, you can get 0 down, 0 interest, no payments, locked in for 2 years. Right now, financial security is a big deal. And if you want even more, they'll give you 2 free Cardinals tickets when you replace all of the windows in your home. Imagine getting some of the best windows you can buy for a lot less than the expensive guys. And unlike most home improvement companies, Window Nation backs their products with a lifetime warranty. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 45,000 customer 5-star reviews, you can trust Window Nation for quality and service, but you need to hurry. Window Nation's window semi-annual sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to buy 4 windows, get 4 free plus no interest financing for 2 years and free Cardinal tickets. Schedule your in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit them online at windownation.com. Again, that's 866-90Nation or visit them online at windownation.com.
Or just played the lineup game, and by that I mean we completely hacked up the lineup game.
Not our fault.
It was all your
This
fault.
is a show of just total projection today. All of us just
How dare he
projecting.
change the
Not our
lineup? They're 8-2 in their last 10. He changed
What
the
happened
lineup.
to extreme ownership, gentlemen?
I own that it's not our fault.
Carey, I'm with you. I'm with you. If it's not my fault, I am not taking the blame.
All right, fair enough.
Even if it's somewhat my fault, I may not take the blame.
So we're going to have a conversation today about whether or not it's time to drop Nolan Arenado in the batting order. And Ollie just beat us to the punch. Ollie has dropped Arenado in the lineup. He's hitting 6th today. Contreras is 4th. Ivan Herrera is 5th. Is anybody shocked by this? I mean, I'm beyond, of course, Nolan Arenado starting to struggle again offensively. He's not a cleanup hitter anymore.
No.
So the fact that it's come to the point where it's been obvious that he's not a cleanup hitter, you move him out. I think the question was always, who are you going to move into that spot? Right now, it's Wilson Contreras. I would not be shocked if it's Ivan Herrera for the majority of the season moving forward.
That's kind of where my head was at when I started looking at some things yesterday. Was just the overall slug numbers of Nolan Arenado. They're just not there. Right. They're just not there.
And they haven't been.
They haven't been for 2 years now. Well, all last year and whatever you've got this year so far is a year and a half, okay? Or a season and a half is probably better.
They've been trending down for 3 years.
Yes. Yes, they have. So, and you kept sandwiching him in there at the 4 spot because that's what he is, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a cleanup hitter. Like when he first got here, I'm a cleanup hitter. I'm a number 4 guy. You're not anymore. So, and last year was a year where you didn't have anybody else.
Right.
Contreras was hurt for a lot of the year. Donovan was bad.
Donovan's a good hitter. He's, believe it or not, I don't think he's a cleanup hitter. I don't know what you guys think.
At all. So with Contreras healthy now, and his bat working, and then Herrera basically owning baseball in general offensively, you have to move him down. Makes absolutely no sense to have Contreras 5, Herrera 6. It just doesn't. So you bump up, like you said, Anthony, Contreras for now, Herrera in 5, and maybe those two flip-flop somewhere along the way. Doesn't matter. But it's time to move him down in the lineup. It's the bottom line. He's not what he used to be. And Nolan Arenado, I don't know if you'd ask him if he'd say, he's okay with it, because, guys are very prideful, and I understand it. But a lot of players who are great players like Nolan Arenado also know that they're not bringing what they used to bring. And so some things have to get moved around sometimes.
Right. And you don't have to like it, but I think you accept it. You accept whatever the role is. And right now, it's not that Nolan Arenado is all of a sudden a terrible hitter. No. It's just he's in a slump now, but his power numbers have dipped. Again, the last 3 years they've been dropping. They've been trending in the wrong way. He's more now of a six hitter than he is a 4 hitter. That's just
I think that's fine.
It's usually the old cliche.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think you want to try to find a way to get your best batters in the right spots, and I don't know that. I mean, you got Brendan Donovan batting third, and we just talked about him probably not being a 3-hole hitter.
I don't know.
You think so?
Sure.
Really?
Sitting. Well,
what are we basing it off
king?
of? What? That's why I'm going. What are we basing it off of?
What is king?
You asking me?
Yes.
Batting average.
Okay. So yeah, then I think he's a 3-hole hitter.
I don't think you. I think. I don't think you believe that.
That's why I asked you.
I know.
You like how he twisted? The old twisty, huh?
What is king to you? Yeah.
That is different, Jay.
Yeah, that's a different thing. That's a different game.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's king to you?
I mean, if we're talking about a 3-hole hitter, I think what?
Power?
Yeah, I think you have to have some power. I don't think it's as important as having power 4-5. But yeah, you have to have some power. I think a versatile hitter at 3 is solid. Somebody that's going to continue to move. I mean, leadoff hitter, obviously you're setting the table.
Right.
The 2-hole hitter needs to be a balance of high on base and power. 3 is kind of an extension of your 2-hole hitter, and then 4-5 need to have some pop.
So, based on that, Anthony, where do you think Nolan Arenado ranks on the Cardinals in slug?
Among active hitters, I would say 7th. Yeah, well, in and around there, because we have a couple, like Jose Barrero's on this list. Yeah,
Yoel Pozo. Like,
no,
I mean, I'm not
qualify
you.
those guys,
yeah, 7 or 8 on the list, depending on how you slice it up.
Sure.
His slug right now is sitting at 380, whereas Herrera is at 857.
Huh?
Yeah. So
come again.
And Contreras is his slug's at 405, but Arenado he's just not a cleanup hitter anymore.
Yeah.
He's just not. I mean, is OBP sitting at 323, OPS at 702? Like that's all like 6-7 in the roster in the lineup. That's 6-7 numbers.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree. So Ollie did the right thing. Not only the right thing, he did the thing. This is why you manage. This is why you're the manager. You make moves like this. So I'm glad he did. It makes sense. Keep him there. But I do think eventually Ivan Herrera will be the 4th hitter when it's all said and done. I think he's going to be your cleanup hitter.
Are you guys shocked that Jordan Walker's not playing
I'm a little surprised. Yeah, I don't know if something's going on.
Especially against a lefty.
But
I don't understand.
Yeah, he hits a bomb. Now he's,
why? It's because all he listens to Marshy.
2 games in a row.
2 games in a row he hasn't. So, I wonder, I'm holding out, making a judgment here. Because we don't know he's here. Maybe he's got back spasms. Maybe he's dealing with a hurt shoulder. I don't know. But for right now, yes. For the purpose of this conversation, I'm surprised. But maybe they're going to release him.
Well, Carey wanted to trade him last week.
He did.
Not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
I said in response to you all saying bench him. So if you want him to sit on the
platoon
bench,
him.
nope, you said bench him.
You did,
and he's been benched ever since. You know, it's been crazy.
Well, he hasn't been good. He hit one home run.
It's hard to get a hit when you're on the bench. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's also easier not to make mistakes when you're on the bench.
For him, it's been really hard to get a hit no matter where he's been.
I mean, would it be beneficial for him to have like a few days off, like a little reset?
That's what I said, and then Carey jumped on it and said, "Oh, well, then just trade him." That's what I said.
You said a guy after he hits the game-winning home run?
Well, at the time, he didn't hit the game-winning home run. At the time, he didn't hit the rosin bag.
He didn't play since.
Okay.
He did knock the snot out of that ball.
I said trade him. Thank you, Ryan Crawford. I will give credit where credit is due. I said trade him or play him. You all said bench him. I said, well, if you're going to bench him, then
I didn't say bench him. I said give him a couple of games off.
He doesn't need to play. Send him down to the minors and get him corrected.
When Jamie disappears on us in Blues hockey, I just know he's doing Blues hockey. I don't want him off the show.
You said trade him. I mean, you said send him out, send him home. Send him home. Don't even send him to the minors. Send him back to Georgia. I said, well, you can trade him and get something for him.
Well, maybe be a pass rusher for the Falcons.
I don't think he's capable of that.
Could you imagine
drafted too, Anthony?
Yeah, we did.
Could you imagine if all the sports were like
the next 4 drafts too
under one umbrella, and you could trade like a baseball player to a city for a football player or a hockey player? Could you imagine if that
could be disastrous?
That would be really bad.
That would be a disaster.
Nobody would be traded to play hockey.
That would
Nobody
be
would
fun.
be traded to play hockey.
No,
they would be on the short end of it.
Yeah, very true.
By the way, I'm going to bring this up in the Sports Six-Pack, but I was asked the other day if I could create one hockey lineup full of baseball and football players here from St. Louis. What would my lineup look like? 5
First
players
we have to figure out
plus
who
the goalie.
can skate.
No. If everybody could skate, that was
How good are they skating?
It doesn't matter. They can skate and they can play hockey. Like, who would you want to play? Like,
because or else you wouldn't have anybody.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
just
you're
eliminate.
asking what the requirements are here.
It's a fictitious scenario.
Okay, fine.
Like I said, Yadier Molina would be my goalie, because he can, like, block a ball. He's got the glove. He would be my goalie.
But he's retired now.
Okay, it's active and retired
This is what happens when he's not on board.
Never mind. Forget I even brought it up. Forget I even brought it up. I thought it was a fun exercise.
I just said I thought it was fun.
It's clearly not that fun.
I wanted the requirements.
He's a kid. You all get together. You're gonna, play basketball, football, hockey, whatever. And he's a kid that's like, well, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And finally, like, forget it. Everybody go home.
Yeah,
that's not at all what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play. I want to play Marshy's game, but I want to know what the rules are, so that I can create a lineup too and have fun with it. Anthony, you should try that someday.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare, Jamie, spin this around.
I'm not.
You're acting like the huge Asoli right now.
No, I'm not. I want to know the guidelines. Every game has guidelines. So if Marshy just said, it's active and retired. Okay. Now it's a better idea. I got it.
Gator says, did Ryan and CD just become best friends? When CD said, I got to give him credit.
I give credit where credit is due. And I attack when you need to be attacked. I'm fair in that way, if nothing else.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I agree.
Jamie.
Sure.
All right. Time for the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We have Brent on the line for the Gauntlet. What's up, Brent?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going great, man. Appreciate you listening. Thank you for playing. You got the full board today. Would you like to sing on Marsh, Carey, Jamie, or me?
Oh, man. Let's go Carey Davis.
Carey Davis.
Good luck, Brent.
Thank you. Go Illini.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
He
go.
didn't say good luck, though.
Hey, he said good. He
did not say
That was
good
probably
luck.
better
But
for
he said
CD.
go Illini.
I don't know.
I think Carey appreciates the Go Illini more than the good luck.
I completely agree, Marsh. Absolutely.
We'll see. We'll find out.
All right, Brent, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Brent, what are you hoping for?
My stronger suit is probably baseball, but, you never know with any of these categories.
Typically, the wheel, whatever you say you want, the wheel does the opposite. The wheel's being nice today. Baseball is our category.
Okay. There we go. All right. Well, you're going to get 4 baseball questions today, Brent. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Question 1. During the 2021 playoffs, who hit the walk-off home run in the Dodgers' wild card win against the Cardinals?
Sorry, can you repeat that? It cut out there.
Yeah, no problem. During the 2021 playoffs, who hit the walk-off home run in the Dodgers' wild card win against the Cardinals?
Oh, man. I want to say it was Chris Taylor, but I'll take the options just in case.
Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner, or Chris Taylor?
Oh, Chris Taylor. Final answer.
All right, Brent, question 2. Can you tell us the Detroit Tigers' all-time leader in games played?
Oh, Miggy's been there a long time. I don't know if he's been there long enough. I'm just going to shoot my shot and go Miguel Cabrera.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Thank you.
Question number 3. Name the team that won a baseball best 111 games in 2022 and then got thumped by the San Diego Padres in the NLDS.
That would be the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Final question. Entering Monday's action, only 2 MLB squads had committed fewer than 18 errors this season. We're referring to the Phillies and who else?
Oh, I know the Cardinals should be pretty close up there. I'm going to say the Cardinals. Final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Carey from the Cone of Silence. Brent, how you feeling?
Oh, I feel pretty confident on 2 of those. Not too bad here.
Okay. All right, Carey's waltzing back in from the Cone of Silence. He's got his propane tank filled with water as he continues to drink more water
Every day. Stay
than
hydrated.
anybody. Mm-hmm. Carey, how's the Cone of Silence?
Oh, it was very silent. In there on my phone, just chilling.
Good. Locked in.
Hopefully.
That's weird.
A little bit of an echo.
Yeah, no kidding.
Echo.
Locked in.
Carey, your category is baseball.
Okay. I like baseball.
Pack a lunch, buddy.
Okay.
Question 1. During the 2021 playoffs, who hit the walk-off home run in the Dodgers wild card win against the Cardinals?
Oh, man. 2021?
Yes, sir.
Options.
Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner, Chris Taylor.
Would Chris Taylor be on there because he just lost his job? Give me Trey Turner. Final answer.
Question 2, Carey. Can you tell us the Detroit Tigers' all-time leader in games played?
Oh, man. Miggy. Miguel Cabrera. Final answer.
Question number 3. Name the team that won a baseball best 111 games in 2022 and then got thumped by the San Diego Padres in the NLDS.
Is that the Dodgers? I don't think it's going to matter. 22 sounds like a Dodger thing before they, turn the corner, Anthony. Let's go. I feel like I should take the options. I don't think it's going to matter, though. 2022. Let's go Dodgers. Final answer.
Final question. Entering Monday's action, only 2 MLB squads had committed fewer than 18 errors this season. We're referring to the Phillies and who else?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Entering Monday's action, only 2 MLB squads had committed fewer than 18 errors this season. We're referring to the Phillies and who else?
I feel like the Cardinals were on that list. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Give me the options, please.
Mariners, Cardinals, Royals.
I think it is the Cardinals. Cardinals, final answer.
All right. Let's go over these. Can you tell us the Detroit Tigers' all-time leader in games played? Carey went with Miguel Cabrera without the options. Brent did the same thing. Correct answer is
Miggy Cabrera was one of the options, but it was Al Kaline.
Al Kaline was the correct answer. So we get a 0-0 tie. Name the team that won a baseball best 111 games in 2022 and then got thumped, absolutely embarrassed by San Diego in the NLDS. Probably should have been eliminated from the league at that point, but Major League Baseball decided to keep them. Carey went Dodgers. Brent went Dodgers. Correct answer is?
It's Carey's L.A. Dodgers.
That's correct. Both of you passed on those options.
Yeah, Brent.
2-2 tie. 2-2 tie. Entering Monday's action, only 2 MLB squads had committed fewer than 18 errors this season. We're referring to the Phillies and who else? You both took the Cardinals. Correct answer is
St. Louis Cardinals.
Nice job. Only 16 errors for the Cardinals this season. But
the options.
Brent didn't need the options on that one. Brent, 4. Carey, 3. Comes down to this. During the 2021 playoffs, who hit the walk-off home run in the Dodgers' wild card win against the Cardinals? Carey, with the options, said Trey Turner. Brent, with the options, said Chris Taylor. If it's Chris Taylor, Brent wins by 2. If it's Trey Turner, we got a walk-off. One of you is correct. Brent.
You have chosen wisely.
It was Chris Taylor. Hit the home run off of.
That would be, I'm blanking on his name. As always. No.
That's correct. Alex Reyes.
Alex Reyes, yeah.
Alex Reyes. That's
Always
right. Alex Reyes gave up the big home run. The stupid-ass Dodgers. Brent, congratulations, man. Nice job. You beat Carey today 5-3. You'll be back tomorrow to take on either Marsh, Jamie, or me.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. And sorry, Carey. I fellow Illini fan, but I had to beat you today.
It's all good. Good job.
Nice job, man. Well done.
Hey, thank you.
We'll be calling you tomorrow. Congrats.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya. Carey.
Yeah.
To the penalty box, please.
I'm going.
Yeah. Sorry.
Appreciate it. I hate it back there.
It is rough.
It's lonely.
But, it should be. It's a punishment. So, Carey will go to the penalty box. Marsh will tell you what's trending next on 101 ESPN.
Sometimes you feel bad for them because like they have some unbelievable players and a great team. And I was actually saying this last night to some of the guys, like if their team was not in like Toronto dealing with all like the crazy circus stuff outside of it, like they'd be like an unbelievable team and like such a hard team to play. Like they just have so much to deal with, and I feel bad.
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis, who is serving his penalty in the penalty box right now. Carey, how are you doing over there?
I'm okay. I'm just chilling. Can't hear myself. I don't know. You guys hear me okay?
Barely.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well,
That was funny. We all looked at him at the same time, and Carey just had this, I hate being over here look in his face.
Just sitting down, man.
So you guys heard that audio. That was Matthew Tkachuk, who joined Spittin' Chicklets and talking about Game 7 last night between the Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Maple Leafs, once again, choked and are now out of the playoffs. Like I said, once again, it seems like it happens every single year. We got a text earlier in the show from the 801 talking about that audio piece, and there was a question: does playing in a larger market really influence the way players play? That being said, would Matthews or Marner have a cup somewhere else, or is their compete level not there?
Yeah, I think, I think initially, probably not so much of a problem, but there's been so much buildup with the Leafs about the core four and talking about Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, and Marner. The core four can't get it done. The core four, like every year. And for me, it's not necessarily those players. They didn't perform to the level that they needed to, but they had no help either. And that's a roster construction thing for the Leafs. They've given a lot of money to their high-end skilled players, which translates really well in the regular season. But there's blame to be had all around. When you go into, especially Game 5 and Game 7 in that series, and you crap the bed with what looks to be unsatisfactory effort in those games. Now, the funny thing about that is we always say, they didn't try hard, they didn't compete. Or maybe Florida just beat them so badly that it looked that way. Because the Florida Panthers last night, the first 10 minutes of the game, the Leafs did barely touch the puck.
Yeah.
Now, the Leafs did have a little bit of a pushback in the second half of that first period, but ultimately the final shows you exactly who was dominating that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but performing in a big market, especially in Canada, there's a lot of scrutiny. And the problem with that is when you get down by a goal or two, like it feels like there's oxygen that's been sucked out of the room. Like it's very stressful at that point. So where a team like Florida or Carolina or some of the smaller markets when it comes to media coverage, they're not feeling that pressure. It lets them perform a little more loose.
It seemed like the theme last night from some of the post-game press, the press conference for the Panthers, Paul Maurice touched on it. Brad Marchand also touched on it about just the pressure that the fans and media put on these players. It was, I don't want to say it was weird, but they almost shifted the conversation to blaming all of the crazy fans and the crazy media members up there as to why this team isn't successful. I found that interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. But I think what we can pull from that is that, like the Panthers, to a man, the ones that spoke anyways, all said, like, this was a different Toronto Maple Leafs team. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not a team that fans should be booing. It's not a team that the media should be scrutinizing. They played hard. They got to a 7th game with the defending Stanley Cup champions, who are, I think they're a playoff juggernaut, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's weird to have players from the opposite team basically say, we feel sorry for the players because there's so much pressure on them.
And that's got to be bad.
That's got to be weird. I don't know. If I'm on the Leafs, I'm like, I don't know if I like you saying that.
Brad, I mean, there is, but I don't know if I like you saying that.
Sandwich hidden in there somewhere.
Right.
Brad Marchand talked about the game yesterday as being not the pressure cooker of a game that maybe other fan bases would find that game. He's like, when you're down 3-0 in a Stanley Cup and then you give up 3 games and you go to Game 7 to win the Cup, that's a pressure cooker game. Mm-hmm. That is a game where there's pressure. This Game 7 of round 2, there's no pressure there. And I think that's ultimately the difference between this Florida Panthers team and Toronto, because last night, that could have been the Stanley Cup for Toronto fans, right? Mm-hmm. Because they haven't been past this round in what?
Never, Bob.
20-odd
years?
Time.
2002 was the last time I went to the conference final?
Is that I saw something somewhere since 1994 or something. The Buffalo Sabres have won 4 playoff series and the Toronto Maple Leafs have won 2. And Buffalo's missed the playoffs for 14 years in a row. But no, it's
How's Momsy doing? Because DLW 1904, Momsy Rivers is a diehard.
She is
Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
She was very optimistic last night. Well, she was very not happy with the first 10 minutes, and I asked her if her team got the memo that the game started at 6:30.
Oh no!
She may have told me to fast lane off.
Good.
They came back, and she was excited. And all she wanted, she says, all I really care about is a good, exciting hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her how she felt about that after the second period.
It was a tight game in the first period.
Yeah.
All 20 minutes.
She's good today. She's a diehard Leafs fan, but she was like, they just weren't good enough, and Florida's a really good team.
Yeah.
Well, you know whose fault it is? It's Jamie's fault, because I picked Florida twice and bet the board, which led to him taking Toronto twice.
Yeah.
Toronto wins those 2 games, and then Jamie turns around and picks Florida. I never had another chance to pick Florida money line.
So maybe it's your fault.
Well, how would it be my fault, though?
Because you hexed the Panthers properly.
Yeah, maybe.
No, don't turn this on me.
All I remember is saying...
Well, you turned it on Jamie.
He tried. All I remember saying is that if the Panthers equal the series up at 2, after losing, the Leafs are done.
I think
you nailed that. You're absolutely right.
I don't even think it was 2. I think you said if they win game 3, it's over. Like if they get 1 win, it's over.
I may have said that. Yeah.
Either way, you were 1,000 times right. By the way, you had a Rivers 50 Blues jersey at your birthday party.
Yes.
50 because you turned 50.
Very well done.
In March.
Thank you. In March. Yes. Wasn't a bit. Well, I just wanted to clarify, Jamie, because obviously 50 is Bennington. Did you happen to see what the Stalters wrote you?
I haven't had a chance to peruse the jersey.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I was overwhelmed with was, one, I never asked for gifts. Never asked for a gift. It wasn't on the thing or whatever. I just wanted people to come and party and have a good time.
Yeah.
That was like the primary mission of everything. But then the next day going through, I'm looking at the dining room table. You guys will see. Well, you've seen my dining room table, Carey. It's like this big, like Vikings would eat there. Like it's long. You can sit 10, 11 people at this table. And I'm looking at it, and from corner to corner, front to back, it's covered in bourbon bottles.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, Jamie, you may have a problem. All these people buying bourbon, you may have a problem at this point.
It took that to realize.
Yes. The visual was a lot, Carey. It was very much appreciated. People nailed it. I mean, you guys nailed it. But the visual was a lot. Even my mom goes, oh, my.
Oh, dear.
She goes, that'll last you 3 years. Ashley goes, or 3 weeks. I was like, stop.
Real quick here, guys.
I might need a drink. It's hurting my feelings.
Colton Wong announced his retirement. Favorite Colton Wong moment? We did this with Matt Carpenter last week when he announced his retirement. A favorite Colton Wong moment as a Cardinal?
Ooh, I don't know if I have a favorite Colton Wong memory. I'll be honest.
The Colton Wong Hawaiian shirt.
I just liked his swag. He wore swag. He inspired Anthony Stalter for his softball swag.
Yeah, sure did. Absolutely. I mean, many defensive gems. I'll remember Colton Wong here in St. Louis for his defensive style. And yeah, you're right. He played with some swagger.
He had a big home run against the Giants. It was a walk-off home run in the playoffs. That was probably the coolest moment. Definitely not the one that he had in 2013.
Where he got picked off?
Yeah.
That's not great.
Colton Wong, good player. Very good.
Solid
good
player.
Solid player, yep. Droid FX also echoing what you just said there, Marsh. Walk-off homer against the Giants.
And that was in 2014, so that was almost like a moment for him that probably, I don't want to say erased the pickoff in 2013.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like a moment that,
right,
for him in that moment to outshine what happened the year before.
I agree. And of course, Travis Ishikawa erased all of everything you just said.
All right, I'm going to pot you down.
Ishikawa, right.
You don't have to say that. We're being positive.
Okay. I'm positive Ishikawa got all that off Walker.
He did hit that pretty long.
Who should not have been in that game. In all fairness, you know. Carey, nice job.
Thank you.
Carey almost served the punishment as if he couldn't talk, like he was in timeout.
Well, I'm just sitting over here chilling.
Nice job.
Thank you.
We got our sports six-pack next, part one at least. So if you have any questions for us, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Send in your questions. Sixer, part one, next. Well, you've seen other dealerships brag about a huge inventory. Then when you go out there, they have those vehicles at other lots. Not at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Over 800 new and used vehicles, all in one easy location, all at their Herculaneum dealership, right off I-55 in McNutt Herculaneum, just minutes from South County. No lot hopping, no headaches. And Auto Center's Nissan is bringing the heat this May with their Bloom and Vroom sales event. You can score big with no payments for 6 months on select new Nissans, no payments for 3 months on used vehicles, a complimentary new car lifetime warranty, as well as a 30-day new car return promise, and 3 oil changes included on every new Nissan. If you've got some shaky credit and you don't know if you're going to get financed, Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, they got the best financing department that you're going to find at any dealership in St. Louis or the surrounding areas. Visit them online at autocentersnissan.com. When you do so in person out in Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. Auto Centers Nissan, where the inventory is big, the savings are bigger, and the nonsense is nowhere to be found.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take 2 of 3 against the Kansas City Royals over the weekend. The Cardinals are 8-2 in their last 10 games and are 2 games behind the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. The Cards will take on the Detroit Tigers tonight. 6:45 first pitch with Sonny Gray on the mound. Nolan Arenado is now batting 6th in the lineup. We played the lineup game earlier. We talked a little bit about that. If you missed any of our conversations from today, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do our six-pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Time for part 1 of our Sports Six-Pack. 314-399-9646 of the Air Comfort Service tax line. Marsh, fire away.
Question number 1.
From the 314, what teams would be an amazing NHL Stanley Cup final? This does not include the current teams in the playoffs, all the teams in the league.
Oh, man.
Well,
we'll put the Blues in it. Well, okay, let's exclude the Blues.
Because we're all going to, I think we'd all would like to see the Blues in the Stanley Cup final.
Correct.
So we'll take them out of the pool here. I guess I'm caught in the moment. I'm craving another Florida Oilers final.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a good one.
I wanted Florida and the Blues, but now that we're eliminating them, Florida and Vegas, but
that's
Vegas.
who I had picked in the final was Vegas and Florida, with Florida repeating.
I had Vegas winning.
Yeah. Whoa.
But they're terrible. So
Man, they had a bad series. That's
they
sure.
did.
Bad draw. When you don't score a goal in the last 2 games, not good.
Yeah, they sucked. You know what? So, but yeah, I would say Vegas and Florida for eliminating the Blues. And no, bacon wrapped wiener. I don't want the Sharks.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. I mean, I would be lying if I didn't kinda want to see the Maple Leafs and the Oilers in the Stanley Cup.
Oh.
Because of the drama that would ensue. The Panthers are a really good hockey team. They're fun to watch. I don't like seeing the same teams there multiple times.
Oh, you don't like people's success.
He doesn't like champions.
Hey, I don't like champions.
He likes people's success, just not repeat successors.
So they should just lay down and not play hard.
That's not what he's saying.
I want to see the Yankees and the Dodgers play in the World Series again.
Nobody wants to see the Dodgers.
I already saw it.
But isn't that different? Let's just isolate that for a second. Because the Yankees and the Dodgers are 2 of the highest spending teams, right?
That's fair.
So because there's no cap in baseball, I feel like it's a little different. Mm-hmm. Whereas hockey, if you can build a dynasty in a salary cap era, that's pretty damn impressive.
For sure.
No kidding. Agreed.
Now, with the teams remaining, I absolutely want Florida in the Stanley Cup because there is no way on this earth that we need to see the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup.
No,
I do not
we
need
don't
to
need
see
to see that owner in the Stanley Cup final.
Don't need to see. Honestly, I think the worst matchup we could get is Carolina and Dallas. That's just my opinion.
I think the least watched Stanley Cup final would be Carolina Edmonton. You'd get Canadian viewers, but the U.S. market, it would be a dud. Because the Carolina Hurricanes don't really have anybody that's like upper tier They don't have the McDavid. They don't have the superstar player. They've got good players.
Right.
Their coach is the most popular person in that franchise.
There you go. So I think the worst for TV ratings overall would be Edmonton, Carolina.
And that did happen in the early 2000s, I believe. Out of the lockout, we had Edmonton and Carolina. That went 7 games.
It did.
By the way, I'm just seeing this now. The Indy 500, they had a little news blurb there. Our guy, Joseph Newgarden, was penalized.
Yeah, he was.
What'd he do?
he is on the fast lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, I don't know, he got penalized, and now he's going to start. He's going to move all the way to the back.
That's some crap.
Something about the car. Some requirements weren't met, I believe, or they didn't fix something.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying, buddy. Don't worry.
That's
we
right.
got you.
We got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't first, your last.
That's right.
What about the Rangers? Would you like to see the Rangers in the Stanley Cup?
No.
Once again?
Yeah. Sure.
No.
Why not?
Because Chris Drury's a terrible GM.
All right, then no.
Okay.
What he said.
What about the Red Wings?
So that's another team.
The bleeping Red Wings.
I'd be okay with the Red Wings in there.
I want to see the Buffaloes there.
Oh, boy. No, I don't.
Why?
No.
They haven't, why not?
No, thank you.
I actually think that would. I feel like that would be huge for the NHL.
What?
Yeah.
Buffalo fans are
Sabres, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Okay, but
You kidding me? They burned the city down in Bruce Almighty when they won the Stanley Cup.
They did. But I'm just saying, nobody's wanting to watch the Sabres except for Sabres fans.
Okay.
That's the problem.
I'm thinking like you get rid of. I'm just thinking of like teams in general. I'm not thinking of like the players on the team. I'm just thinking like right now. I'm just thinking of like the brand.
You're thinking like droughts or something.
I'm thinking of storylines and brands.
For them just to make the playoffs would be an accomplishment.
Let's just give them the playoffs and then let's see them out the door.
Wow.
Yeah. What?
You gonna let them in and then kick them right out?
Well, not right away.
You did let them in, and then
let them
happens
in.
every year to teams, Carey.
Yeah.
You kick them right out, huh?
Yeah.
The Blues got in, they got kicked out.
They did get kicked out. They kind of
didn't get kicked right out, but they got kicked out.
They kind of walked out. Yeah, they kind of walked out.
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't. Nobody.
They gave up. They gave up their seat.
And fell out.
Yeah, they gave up their seat.
Yeah. Seats taken.
It's kind of like. Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
You're right.
All right.
Question number 2.
I'm not even gonna push it. No. I feel like that was a genuine never mind, and we're gonna honor that never mind.
Moving. It's your one.
Tell you later.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. This next one comes from Master of the Custodial Arts.
Nice.
Who goes to the All-Star game for the Cardinals as of today?
Ryan Helsley.
As of today,
Brendan Donovan.
Victor Scott.
Herrera.
Brendan
Victor
Donovan.
Scott.
Victor Scott.
And then
I don't think Herrera has. If we said right now today, I don't know if he would have
He's
enough
got
games.
some of the best numbers offensively
have enough
in
games
the
under his belt.
league.
He will by the All-Star game.
You said today.
Oh, Ivan Herrera. It's one of the best hitters in the league,
All right,
Carey.
you know what? You're right.
Herrera, Donovan,
yeah.
Helsley, Liberatore.
There you go. Send the whole damn team.
He's got Liberatore in there.
He's been dominant.
He's been very good. I'm happy for him. I really am.
We won't use this as a question, but we did get a text from the 309. I think this texter is going to be happy.
Oh, boy.
Probably didn't look at the lineup. It says, is it time to move Herrera into the cleanup spot? I'm tired of seeing Arenado pop the ball up with runners in scoring position.
Well, good news. He's been moved. Sorry. Arenado's been moved. Herrera went to 5. So that's good.
Getting closer.
Getting closer. By the way, Liberatore, 23rd in baseball in ERA.
How many pitchers go to the All-Star game?
I don't know.
Not 23.
National League, he is 11th in ERA.
11 starters going to the All-Star game?
I don't know. Okay.
I'm just saying. I don't think he's in there right now.
Okay, fine. I tried, Cardinal fans.
We got to account for the fan vote.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there are a lot of people in Major League Baseball in terms of the fan bases that know an Ivan Herrera, that know a Matthew Liberatore.
Well,
Who
Mason
they know?
Wynn.
That's terrible.
Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn.
Okay.
Could be in the conversation for sure.
All right.
Question number 3.
I thought we were,
Nope.
doing this legit.
Not what we're doing.
All right, from the 314, thoughts on the Eagles extending Sirianni, especially with all the negative things Anthony has said about him on these airwaves.
Yeah,
Anthony, what do you think?
You know what? I was wrong about Nick Sirianni. I have said that, and I stand by it. I was dead wrong. I thought he was a fool. I thought it was kind of a situation where it was like Bruce Arians, where they didn't actually allow him to talk to anybody, and they just gave him a headset that didn't work. Great roster, and he coached the hell out of it. So, yeah, deserved it. Deserved the multi-year extension. Nice work there, Nick Sirianni.
Good.
Nice work.
It's such a weird relationship there. Sirianni yelling at fans and getting himself like, what? Actually, maybe it's the perfect marriage.
Right.
Quite honestly,
it works
such a
for the Philadelphia market. It's a mess, and Philadelphia likes it. I mean, you can't knock it. Can't knock it. But yeah, I thought it was an utter buffoon that was going to cost them, that talented-ass roster, a Super Bowl.
And he just stayed out of the way.
Yeah.
And he didn't. I mean,
actually won it.
We won it.
Yep, won it all. Beat the hell out of the Chiefs, too.
Well done.
That's your brother, Anthony.
It's not my brother.
It looks like a relative.
Okay, fine.
We should do a family tree. I wonder if you guys are related.
I doubt it.
Anthony, you should do that 23andMe thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's accurate.
You don't think so? No?
Probably not.
I don't know. I did it.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Are you related to Phillip Rivers?
Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, we know how many kids he has.
The math doesn't wind up, but doesn't work out. But you're one of them.
If I could, I would.
I know you would.
Even though I'm probably 10 years older than him.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah. All right, part 2 of the Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646. Keep those questions coming in. Sixer, part 2, next.
The worst mistake people make when looking to sell their home is just winging it, or choosing a real estate agent that maybe the commission's not as high, but they also don't know as much, or they don't even know the landscape of the city or the price range of homes. Don't do that to yourself. Call the best. That's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has been in the business for over 20 years, and she completely understands where the market is trending in the St. Louis area. She knows what zip codes are getting for certain houses, the pricing of houses. You don't overprice your house just because you get greedy. Then your house sits on the market forever. Then you got to drop your price anyways, and you don't want that. Get the right price range. Gloria Liu will help you with that, and then she sells your house fast. She also has a database with thousands of buyers in there that she can guide a percentage of those buyers to your price range of your home, and that helps you sell your home faster and for the most money. So please, if you're looking to sell your home, pick up the phone, call Gloria Liu, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888, or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
Continue with our Sports Six-Pack. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Still time to get in a question at 314-399-9646. That's our Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, go.
Question number 4.
All right, from Grant Francis Fan Club, do you think Drew Bannister or Steve Ott could land an NHL head coaching job this summer?
I don't believe Drew Bannister will. And it's an unfortunate situation because of the small sample size that he received here in St. Louis. I don't think there's a tremendous amount of market confidence in Drew Bannister as a head coach yet. Do I think he could be an assistant coach in the NHL? Yes. Or a head coach in the American Hockey League once again? I think those are probably better paths right now for Drew Bannister. Steve Ott's close, man. I think Steve Ott should probably get some interviews this offseason. And if the situation is right for Steve Ott, maybe that time is now. Some people in the industry feel like he's a year or two still away from being a serious candidate, but he's been doing a hell of a job here for a long time. And now he's an associate coach here with Jim Montgomery. Jim Montgomery relies upon him a lot. Steve Ott has been also involved with Hockey Canada. Like, he's got a lot of things right now that are on the resume, which are good. The only thing he doesn't have on his resume, which, Carey, we know this sucks, is he doesn't have much experience as a head coach. Well, how the hell do you get it unless somebody gives him a job? So that might be tough at the NHL level. He may have to do what some guys have had to do, is leave the NHL, go back to the American Hockey League, be a head coach down there, and then be promoted from there. If I'm Steve Ott, I don't know if I want to do that. His family's here in St. Louis. He loves living here. His kids play hockey here. Like, they love the community. He's doing a hell of a job as an associate coach. Maybe he just waits the 2 or 3 years to where he finally builds up that equity that some people think he needs, and then he goes from there.
Still a young guy, too, relatively to other NHL
42,
coaches.
I think 40, 42 years old. Got lots of time.
In life.
Well, yeah, we hope.
Question number 5.
For everybody.
Yeah.
From the 618, what was your favorite thing about sports or playing sports while growing up? What made it special for you?
My friends. Like, all of us getting together and playing, like, pickup basketball or football in the street or, in the grass. Like, that's what made it fun. Like, getting up, especially, like, summertime, early Saturday. In the summer, you get up early. It's still 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm outside. And I didn't eat.
That wasn't a flashlight day for you?
No. When my friends were available to get outside, we got outside. That was late at night when I had nobody to talk to.
Carey was a hell of a flashlight tag player.
Oh.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he dominated.
What?
You can't help yourself.
No,
You
really
know
can't. What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, for me, sports growing up, for me, and you guys heard it the other night at the birthday party, for me it was a way to hang out with my brother and be, active with him and his friends and play football, baseball, basketball, hockey. I mean, you name it. We played every sport going out there, and I just loved it. I loved being outside. I loved the competing of it. Even as I was 4 years younger than my brother and most of his friends, even younger, I still wanted to win. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to prove to them, and that drove me. And that competitive fire was what made it fun for me. And when I lost, was I mad? I'd be so mad. Then I go practice even more so the next time I played I could win. It's weird, isn't it?
No, that's exactly why. That last part that you just shared is exactly why I love sports. It's competing. I just love competing. I love trying to figure it out. I love trying to, either match athleticism or strategy or smarts to somebody else. Like, I just love competing. And I love, too, competing with other people. I love having teammates that are also trying to win, that care as much. So for me, it was definitely playing the games. And then, going to sporting events with your dad or your mom or friends. I mean, that was something great too. But to me, it was all about competing and getting better, like Jamie just said.
I loved sports because it meant there was no school and it was something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But also, like you guys mentioned, the compete aspect of it and doing it with teammates. I still play men's league hockey. I had a game last night. It's super late at night, but why do I go? Because I love playing the game, even though I'm not as good as I once was. Mm-hmm. I still like playing. I know you guys give me crap all the time for playing video games, but there's a compete aspect to those video games. I never play story-based games because that's all computer stuff. I want to play against real people, and then you can play with other people that are playing, and it's like a team. It's fun. Yeah. The older you get, the less you get of that competition.
The less fun you have?
I didn't say that.
It's different. It is harder to find competition.
Yeah.
It just is. Carey, when's the last time you played a football game?
It's been a while.
Right? But football's your passion, and it's been forever since you played an actual football game.
Yeah.
Anthony? For you? Football? Baseball? I mean, I know you did play softball for a bit, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been years.
But you two, you too, Jamie, it's different for you guys now because now you're competing as coaches.
Yeah.
Right? You're competing in a different aspect. It's not you in a sense.
That aspect sucks, though.
Because you don't have control over it, right?
That's the hardest part.
I do. Marsh is right. I do. I love it. And maybe I won't at some point, but I do love it.
It feeds a certain amount of the animal, for sure. But it doesn't feed the whole animal.
Yeah, that's well said. And Marsh, to clarify, we don't give you crap for playing video games. We give you crap for playing video games and posting them online.
Come on. Snake pit watches. I got the whole created stadium, the uniforms. I made a damn hat based off the team.
Marsh, I'll give you this. You don't just do something. You get into it and you don't half-ass it, man. So I
got a little ADHD in me,
Hat tip
I get
to you.
focused on something.
Yes, you do.
Kind of do, and if I don't like it, I get unfocused.
Yeah,
it's
right. It's
something.
It's a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
Question number 6.
All right, did you guys, think about it? Who's your starting 5, starting 6?
Go ahead, Marsh. Carey, Jamie.
What?
Jamie didn't get the rules in time.
Didn't get the rules.
I want you to go ahead and take over this.
So I had a question asked of me. If you could create a hockey lineup, 5 skaters, 1 goalie, based on all St. Louis athletes that played in St. Louis, past or present. We had someone text in, why would you pick Yadier Molina when Jordan Bennington is there?
They said athletes.
You didn't
say non-hockey players.
Okay, non-hockey players. We are adding that to the rules.
Just want to help because even when you reworded it, you didn't exclude players.
I thought it was obvious.
I'd be like Cam Fowler, Colton Parayko,
Jordan Kyrou,
Robert Thomas,
my 5,
Dylan Holloway.
I'd have Yadier Molina in net. Why? Because of the glove, the ability to block baseballs, block a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Someone texted in and said Orlando Pace. He's a bigger guy. Maybe he takes up more of the net. On defense, I'd have Chris Carpenter and Larry Walker. On my wings, I'd have Danny Amendola, Marshall Falk, and my centerman would be Steven Jackson.
Okay.
That would be my team.
All right.
I'd have Steven Jackson on the wing. So the way he would move and be able to drive to the net, drop a shoulder and drive.
I like that.
Yeah. I'd use that big body.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very good.
All right.
Like the
Nice work there, Marsh. It's Fastlane on 101
Or you can just have Jordan Bennington play goalie.
That was funny.
That was the best.
Why would you just have a goalie? That kind of kills the whole thing, doesn't it? All right.
Wouldn't it be bad if you were allowed to have hockey players? We picked a baseball player instead.
Yeah, right. No kidding. That would be insulting, big time.
Great.
All right, so Nolan Arenado was dropped in the lineup today, and he spoke to the media, and he was a total professional. We'll tell you what he said next on 101 ESPN. Fantasy is the absolute best place to play NBA, baseball, hockey, whatever it may be, and you get paid on your hunches. That's it. Go to Underdog which has their extender promo going on right now. Play your way to increasingly bigger boost each round of the playoffs. Like starting tomorrow, make sure you play your game one boost at Underdog, and then you can keep boosting as long as the series goes. The bigger the boost are, the bigger the payouts are. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. To play, first, you download the app. I've got a special promo code that you can use to get paid even more when you download the app. But you can choose a couple of players, different players, to go higher or lower on their stats. And then you can choose things like points, assists, and much more, all via Underdog. And here's the best part, too. You don't have to just choose one game. You don't have to just say, oh, well, I got this NBA game like tomorrow. They got the Timberwolves and Thunder, right? I just got to pick players from this game. Nope. You can choose one player there, choose a hockey player, choose a baseball player, all from that night. Build your player profile. And again, once your entry feels good, you can play for as little as $1. Get everything right. You can win up to 1,000 times your money, all courtesy of Underdog. So download that Underdog app. Sign up with my promo code Anthony. Unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, with that promo code, which is Anthony. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. So the Cardinals decided to move, Ali Marmol decided to move Nolan Arenado down in the order tonight. He goes from 4 to 6. Wilson Contreras will be your cleanup hitter, followed by Ivan Herrera. Then you have Nolan Arenado. John Denton, about 24 minutes ago, tweeted out that Arenado said that he told manager Ali Marmol he should be moved down in the lineup. So it wasn't Ali's decision. Sounds like it was more Arenado's decision. So if
Is
you
that
don't,
the way they're wording it?
if you don't like Ali, there's more fuel for your fire. That's how that works, Carey. Quote, we switched the lineup because the guys are playing well in front of me, and the guys were hitting behind me, and they should move up. There's really nothing more to that, Arenado said. He noted on his struggles, just play better. I don't really have an answer. Just play better. Play more the way I think I'm capable of. But it's been a minute since I felt like I could play the way I should. So I don't know if that's coming back or not. Is that concerning to you, Carey, as a former professional athlete that knows once your confidence goes, so does your career?
Well, it's been a minute since I felt like I could play the way I should, so I don't know if that's coming back or not, if it's coming back. Oof. Yeah, I mean.
Not great.
Not that this isn't a retirement thought or conversation, but I think once you start, confidence is the most important thing you can have. Like, obviously the ability, if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be there. But once your confidence is shot, you are playing a tough game because it's hard to get out of that mindset. It's hard to get out of that thing that you've put yourself into. And I don't know if and then again, I don't know what his level of what he feels like he should be playing as. What should he does he think he should be the all-star level that he was a few years ago? Because that's
I think that's the problem that we all have, Carey.
We all feel that way?
We always feel like we could. That's who I am, is that player.
Yeah.
You don't want to accept
We're not always that player.
We're not, no. No.
That player is there for a span, and then that player no longer exists.
But in between our ears, we think that player still exists.
Sure. Ollie also noted, and this is from Jeff Jones on Twitter, good conversations with Nolan, said Ollie Marmol this afternoon, just as he's working through some things. We talked a couple of days ago in Kansas City and giving him a breather as he works through this and moving the other two guys up in the spot. Physically, his swing, getting to where he feels right about it. He said when asked what Arenado needs to work through. Continuing, Herrera and Contreras making the decision easier. Quote, I think it all goes hand in hand. I mean, I definitely want to do what's best for Nolan as he's working through getting to where he feels good about his swing. But Herrera doing what he's doing allows for it as well. No different than Wilson doing what he's doing allows for it as well.
Do you think Ollie is just saying that Nolan said that to him so that it doesn't look as bad on Nolan Arenado? Because I do know coaches in the past when things are not going well and they don't want to make a franchise-esque Hall of Famer type player look bad. They talk about, like, doing it for the team, you know? Like, we always go back to that 2019 Alexander Steen. He accepted the role, you know? He was
yeah.
Or was he just told, you're going to the fourth line?
And shut your mouth.
And that's where you're going to play.
Right.
Or not. Or I'm going to word it in a way like that, hey, he's been demoted.
Yeah.
Or as Alexander Steen has embraced the role.
What's your history with it?
I think this is the player has embraced the fact that the team needs, like, these two other guys are hitting better than him. They need to be up there. Mm-hmm. He's doing this for the team. At the same time, he's going to work on some things. I think it's Ollie that called him in and said, dude, we can't hold those other guys back anymore. Like, we need a middle-of-the-order bat. We're going to keep working on some things here, but you're going to go down to sixth. Yeah. I'm not going to embarrass you in the media, though.
Right.
Because I see a lot of texts in Snake Pit, text line, everybody's like, oh, so now the players are running the team.
That's why I said what I said about the Ollie thing.
I know, but that's like, Ollie's clearly like, he's managing, and what's the hardest thing that, was it Tony La Russa said? Managing an aging superstar?
Yes, one of the most difficult things to do in sports.
And that's what Ollie's trying to do right now.
Yeah.
And he's trying to manage his team, who's playing, not even jokingly, exceeding all expectations right now.
Yep.
And Ollie's probably managing for his managerial career right now, at least for this job.
Right.
Because Chaim Bloom is watching. And Chaim Bloom probably wants to start this all off fresh with his own guy. Pretty hard to do that if Ollie goes on a run and they win a division with a team that shouldn't have even been in the conversation.
Right.
So I think Ollie's making some tough decisions, but he's wording it in a way to where he doesn't embarrass the player.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I think that maybe there's just a conversation between the two of them. And, hey, this is what we need from you. This is what we're getting from you. And, you know, Nolan is like, yeah, this is the best thing for the team. Maybe it's a conversation between the both of them. I think Nolan Arenado wants to win above everything else, other than, you know, provide what he can provide when his opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
But I think he wants to win, and he can see that making this move is probably going to help the team out in the long run.
How does a quote like what he said and what we're discussing and him being moved down in the order, how does that affect his trade value? Because if we're ultimately talking still about trading him at the trade deadline to give other players some playing time, what does that look like? Are other teams looking at this and being like, maybe we thought about taking him on, but I think we're good? Do you think this affects that?
I think we give way too much credit to not credit. I think we think that these type of things have more impact than they actually do. If if a contending team is interested in Nolan Arenado, I don't think something like this really wrecks that thought. You know, they already know he's struggling. They've got the player profile on him. They know what they're getting. They know at this point in his career where he's at. I don't think that. Let's just use Boston as an example, since we knew they were interested at one point. Looks at it and says, "Boy, we were interested at 4, but not at 6." They already know he's the slug isn't there. They knew.
Yeah, there's no hiding it.
Yeah,
just because of where he's in the order.
Yeah.
Same with the quote, though.
I think if a team likes him and feels like they can get every ounce of whatever out of him, they still like him today. And really, if you're a contender, what are you acquiring Arenado for?
Defense.
Correct.
Which he still is elite at.
You want to shore up. If you're the Yankees, and you have, I saw Jamie in the lineup last week at third base. You got Rivers out there, who's an excellent hockey player, and at one point in youth baseball, good, right?
Yes.
But Jamie's no Major League Baseball player at 50. You got?
Yeah.
We don't know, but probably not.
You guys remember Julio Franco? He might still be playing.
If you have Jamie at third base like the Yankees do, you're still interested in Arenado.
And I wonder if the Cardinals say, you know what, screw it, we're going to keep him because our identity as of this year is defense, in my opinion, based on the metrics that we're seeing.
Who would have thought?
And
who would have thought this Cardinals... I mean, I did. I thought they were going to be good defensively, especially at first base. But... I mean,
no, you didn't, Anthony. You said back on March 23rd.
From the 636, Anthony's a liar. No, I didn't think
your narrative is what you're doing.
That's right. I did not think that this team was going to be great defensively at certain spots. But, yeah.
Look, I just think
Walrus King Jaromir Jagr's playing third place somewhere.
He might be. And Marcia, to your original question about the trade value, I don't think the Cardinals care right now.
Yeah.
I just don't think they care because they are in a spot to compete for the division now. And if that's the case, he can't care. He'd be like, okay, someone will either want him or not want him. Like, this is the bottom line.
Yeah, I agree. All right, it's Fast on 101 ESPN. How close are the Blues to being built like the Panthers? You need a Matthew Tkachuk and a couple other players. But you know what? You're damn close. We'll tell you why. Next on 101 ESPN.
I just think that, our game is built on wearing teams down over the course of a 7-game series, over the course of a game. It might not show in the first 5 minutes, but hopefully it shows in an overtime or late in the third. And our game's built for a Game 7. We've done 6 games of hopefully hard work and physicality that'll pay off time.
All right. That was Matthew Tkachuk here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, not here in the Fast Lane. It'd be nice. We've talked to him before. We love Matt.
Yes.
He's fantastic. But Matthew Tkachuk, post-game via Chris Johnson on the Panthers being built for Game 7. The question is, are the Blues drawing any closer to being built like the Panthers?
So let's dissect it a little bit. You're right. Matthew Tkachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky, pretty solid players. I'd like to think Jordan Binnington probably in the same conversation as Bobrovsky when it comes to big-time games and playing the playoffs.
Yeah.
You don't have your Matthew Tkachuk or your Barkov yet.
Ooh.
I don't think you do. Who would you think would be that? Because Matthew Tkachuk's a unicorn.
But I like how you said yet.
Yet. You don't know. Like, Barkov is one of the best two-way centermen in the game. 2 years from now, what's Robert Thomas? His game continues to evolve, and he could be one of those guys. So you don't know.
Right.
But what's the one thing that we notice about the Blues in their playoff run to make the playoffs and then in the 7 games against the Winnipeg Jets?
They absolutely punished teams.
And what do we notice about the Florida Panthers?
They absolutely punish teams.
They punish teams, and they smother you with their tight checking. They do. If they're on the puck, over the puck all game long. They're in your face or in front of you. In your face or in front of you. So every time, you're constantly working for good ice. That just isn't available. And the Blues did that. How many times we watched the games during that stretch and like the team didn't get out of their end for a period? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh my gosh, like what is going on here?
Right.
That's the Florida Panthers. Now, the Florida Panthers are doing it in the playoffs against very good hockey teams. Mm-hmm. But stylistically, the Panthers, or I should say stylistically, the Blues resemble at least the beginning stages of the Panthers. So I don't think they're that far off. You look at the Panthers' D-core. They got 6 solid defensemen. As of right now, going into next season, I'd like to think the Blues have 6 solid defensemen. That's including Nick Leddy and Justin Falk in the mix there, whether they're 6'7".
What the French toast?
Well, everybody wants to get rid of those guys, but, look at...
Master Sin definitely does. Master Sin is the biggest Nick Leddy.
Yeah.
Get the fast lane out of here.
And I still think there was something plaguing Nick, especially down the stretch in the playoffs. But, we'll never know. Nothing was disclosed to us, but... I just think the Blues, from a style of game, are not far off what the Panthers are. And that theory of right from the opening puck drop, just punishing the opponent, hit after hit after hit after hit. And then, like Matthew Tkachuk said, it may not be in the first period, may not be the first game, might be Game 7, might be in overtime, where it shows it pays dividends for your team. And it did. Whether Maple Leafs didn't play well or they didn't show up, was it a combination of the pressure, or were they beat up, were they unable to match the intensity? Whatever it was, it worked for the Florida Panthers, and it's working for them 3 years in a row. So I don't think the Blues, from a style standpoint, are far off from the Panthers right now.
So you're saying in the next year or two they'll be in the conference finals?
Could be.
Okay.
I mean,
do they need... So
all jokes aside, let's look at it.
Do they need
Robert's going to get better. Mm-hmm. Holloway's going to get better. Bolduc's going to get better. Snuggerud's going to get better. Thomas going to get better. Kyrou probably keeps improving. Like, you've got a lot of really good things in place right now.
Right. Do you think that you consider Matthew Tkachuk a superstar?
I call him a unicorn.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think the Blues have that player on their roster?
No.
Do you need one in order to make
Well, we didn't have one in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We just didn't. We had a big physical team.
To me, that's 2 different teams. Like, the Florida Panthers are a team that's going on their 3rd straight conference finals with a potential to make it to the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row, right?
Yep.
That in comparison to a 1-year team, which no knock against the Blues.
Well, it wasn't really 1 year, Carey, because the next year, going into the bubble, they were first in the league.
Yeah. But making the playoffs and making the Stanley Cup final 3 years.
If we're going to talk about the Dodgers having an asterisk behind their World Series championship, we have to do the same thing with the Blues.
I don't say that. That's him that says that.
Well, I said if we're who?
Yeah, him.
The Astros.
No.
No, the Dodgers.
Dodgers for sure. Yeah, Dodgers.
We don't.
It doesn't count.
It does.
Anyways, my
And
point.
you know it doesn't count.
My point is the Blues weren't the same
Neither does
team
the Lakers
in the bubble.
That.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They weren't the same team in the bubble.
They weren't.
I agree.
Had the bubble not existed and the pandemic not been a part of it, I think the Blues would have been competing again for another Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
At least a team that would be contending in the final. Do they win it? I don't know.
That team was really good.
It was really good. So that would have been 2 years in a row. And they were basically a team without a superstar.
Right.
They had a lot of really good players, but they had depth and they played physical hockey.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
but go ahead, sir.
No, to your original question, I don't think they're like, no, they don't have a Matthew Tkachuk or a Barkov, but they didn't either on either of those teams.
Gotcha.
It is wild to think back and look at the bubble and just see how the bubble changed. I think the course of the NHL in the last 5 years, like the Blues, like you just mentioned, could have went back to the Stanley Cup. The Lightning, Kucherov was injured at that point, and he comes back because they have that time off, and then he gets to play. Who's to say the Lightning, win the Stanley Cup that year? That's a team that also struggled at the time to get past certain rounds. We talk about the Avalanche a couple years ago before they made it to the Cup. We talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, like certain teams that can't get past, certain rounds, like the Washington Capitals for the longest time couldn't get past the second round. And ever since Ovechkin's been there, they've gone one time getting past the second round. They happened to win the Stanley Cup that year. Right. Like there's just certain teams that couldn't get past the, that mark, and the Lightning were that team because things changed, Mox, and things could be different for the Blues right now if COVID doesn't happen. Who knows?
Yeah, and then a good point here, too, by one of the texters said the following year after the bubble was also the year where Bennington got hurt. Kadri landed on him. So,
no, that was 2 years.
Was it?
Yeah, because
they went 4 straight when Perron had COVID, and then the following year.
Perron had COVID, being a point-per-game player.
So 3 years out of 4 years, they could have been a competitive team.
Splashback Deuce has brought this up a couple of times when we get on the subject, and he's absolutely right. The flat cap killed the Blues, too. I mean,
everybody had to deal with that.
Yeah, but the Blues, the way that they were built, the way that they had some key decisions coming up after the COVID.
Well, they had the Petro decision and some of those things, but some other teams did too. I'm not going to. When the rule book is the same for all the teams in that situation, I will say it hurt the Blues, but it also hurt other teams.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm a Blues fan. I guess you're not, but that's,
it even hurt your Sharks, Anthony.
I don't.
As horrible as
the
they
Sharks,
were.
not one bit. Now, Carey, going back to the real matter at hand, how can you count the Dodgers World Series victory in that COVID year? You can't.
It's a championship.
Shortened season. Baseball is like, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Dodgers sprinted. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can take that one away.
Thank you.
It's pretty simple. I sprint marathons.
Oh, wow. Do you?
No, that's a Jimmy Tatro quote.
Is it? Mm-hmm. He plays for the Celtics. You just heard. Got his Achilles.
That's Jason Tatum.
That's Jason Tatum.
I thought that's what Marsh just said.
I don't know if they're related.
Yeah.
We don't know that they're not.
We know that Anthony likes to sprint 5Ks.
Oh, no, definitely not. Yeah, especially not my first one ever at 43.
You did a good job. You finished.
Thank you. Yep. Yeah. Hey, my daughter was a rock star that day.
That matters.
That's right. TMA, Dotem Golf Tournament is May 29th and 30th at Oak Valley Golf Course and Resort. Friday's foursome's already sold out. Spots still remain, though, for Thursday, May 29th. Get your foursome together for a full day on the course with Team A, including complimentary breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, all your Michelob Ultra, the 100 West Dental closest to the pin competition, a long drive competition, courtesy of Pondoff's Anonymous Recovery Podcast, an after party with food from Texas Roadhouse on Thursday and Super Smokers Barbecue on Friday. Portion of the proceeds will support the St. Louis Hero Network in honor of Brian McKenna. Find all the Dotem info now at 101ESPN.com. Beat the streak, bet the board next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Detroit Tigers tonight. First pitch is at 6:45. Sonny Gray on the mound. The Cardinals have won 8 of their last 10 games. We'll see if they can continue that tonight. Nolan Arenado was actually dropped in the batting order. He is now batting 6th tonight for the Cardinals. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews, including the one we had today with Jeremy Rutherford, and all of our shows. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have Beat the Streak and Bet the Board coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh continues to beat the you-know-what out of all of us. Ben is also back. What's up, Ben?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you joining us again. Andrew Marsh, what's your streak up to now? You sick.
You want to finish that?
Nope.
Gotcha. I'm at 16 right now. I got a streak of 16. However, I'm not the only one that has a pretty impressive streak going on right now. Carey has a streak of 8, and Jamie has a streak of 7.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Anthony, you're at 3, and of course, Ben is back. He has a streak of 2.
Okay. Well, without further ado, Andrew Marsh, take it away.
Give me... kind of getting nervous now. I'm going to go with Pedro Pages tonight.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting that. That kind of threw me off.
Wow.
Give me, because all right. Give me Mason Wynn.
Jamie?
Brendan Donovan, please.
All right.
All right. Ivan Herrera again.
Ivan Herrera. I'll take Gleyber Torres. That's all right. I wasn't going to take.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I wasn't going to take Herrera. All good. All right. So, Marsh with Pedro Pages, Carey with Mason Wynn, Jamie with Brendan Donovan. I took Gleyber Torres, and our guy Ben just took Ivan Herrera. So, Ben, hopefully we talk to you again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a good day.
You
all
too,
right, buddy.
buddy.
You too. Take care.
Hey.
From Beat the Streak to Bet the Board. Well, Carey decided to hold me accountable, but
as he should.
Nobody else in the room on Friday. Jamie was off. Marsh was
I
off.
sent my pick to Bradford.
Bradford made 2 selections, one for Marsh and one for Jamie, and hit them both.
One under question, under protest.
Yeah, one didn't make any damn sense.
Yeah. But, Anthony, you didn't check it either, and you were here. Same thing you got on me and Jamie about when Marshy made his pick. You had your damn eyes closed.
It's worse, though.
That's a good point.
Marshy's pick was still fresh.
Yes.
I was on the road when Marsh made his selection.
But you were here when Bradford made his and didn't say a word.
And you knew about the Marshy situation.
Because I was checking my Dallas Stars money line that all of a sudden you're like...
That you tried to get over on me on and I paid attention to.
That's ballsy.
But I bet you we won't. I bet you this. Nobody else is, none of y'all, nobody, me included, will get another pass on a pick that is not within the parameters that have been set forth by this team.
There's some real cheating going on.
Yes.
And me, I had the Stars at minus 153. Marsh took a favorite of like 15. I'll take them on the money line, please. Really, they're favored by 27, Marsh.
They're favored by 5.5.
It's still, that's
Without
a lot.
their best player, I just assumed that their money line would.
You know what, Marsh? I don't even blame you. I blame these two.
I blame you for giving him the pass. He was ready to not mark it down.
Yeah, because I held you two accountable.
And then you're not holding yourself accountable.
No, it wasn't my fault.
It's definitely your
Carey's fault. What's the?
Carey's done it twice now.
I know he has. You're right.
Oh, yeah. So I caught him when he tried to get over.
It was barely over.
It doesn't matter.
Bradford picked one that was like not even close.
What are you talking about? We don't know that.
We gotta know that. It was so. I was so confused when he picked it.
He took Salvador Perez under 1.5 hits.
Yeah,
at plus 170.
That's a good bet.
No way in hell.
That's a great underdog bet.
Marsh, what's the latest standings? I'm so ticked off right
Anthony, you have 7 points. Jamie has 6. Carey has 5, and I have 5.
You feel that nipping at your heels right now?
I shouldn't, because I should have 8. But I don't because of Carey.
Because I paid attention?
Yeah. Because Carey plays by the rules.
Give me the Mets minus 125 tonight.
I hate your guts right now.
Give me the Mets.
That's where I was
minus
going.
125.
Is that where you were going?
Against
He
the
heard
Red
me
Sox.
say it earlier today. What a piece of crap you are.
I totally did. I totally heard it.
It's a great bet,
It
too.
wasn't until I looked and saw Kodai Senga's on the hill.
Yeah.
That's a good bet. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Steaming pile of
Thank you.
cow flop. That's what you are.
Jamie, what's your selection?
It's going to be punching you in the nose in a minute.
Well, you won't be able to miss.
That's a good point. You just totally
Take the Mets on the run line.
So just be quiet, okay? How about that? How about you just be quiet? You miserable human being. Give me the Reds on the money line, minus 109.
All right, give me the Dodgers on the money line.
Hang on, let's check that one.
Just under.
It's at minus 146.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Watching you.
It's actually just moved to minus 150.
All right,
That's right on
minus
the
151.
I was hoping it'd be
Minus
151.
Fresh.
All right, I am
Wow,
going.
you just got yours in, Jamie.
Literally.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals and Tigers tonight. First inning result to be tied. Minus 150.
Can we verify?
Right. He picked the most obscure one.
Yeah.
You know he's cheating.
So,
I'm going to go take a look and see.
what is it?
We'll let Carey look real quick.
Where you got?
And hit refresh, Carey. Yeah,
Well, you can't hit refresh. And Marsh, you just made the bet.
that's true.
Oh.
No, refresh the. We're verifying. We're
Yeah,
trusting
but if he
him, but
made
we're
the
verifying.
bet when he had the odds,
It's okay.
it's not his fault.
I'm good.
If the line moves after he places bet, if you place a bet in
That's what
Vegas,
happened to me.
No, but if you place a bet in Vegas,
Your bet wasn't placed. It was 153 on my screen when you made the bet.
Oh, you should have came up with my screen.
No.
Which was minus 150 the day before.
No, Antoine.
Ticking me off. Bacon Wrap Wiener, who loves to say Stalter on the fumble, goes Stalter with the interception on the Mets play.
Yes. That's a scumbag move.
It was an excellent move.
It was a great play. That's where I was going.
Well, typically,
I didn't
spite
hear you
doesn't
say
win.
Well, that's because you don't listen.
Clearly.
Well, they didn't even go spite, Marsh. I went spite on the Stars play.
That was spite.
I had a minus 1.5. I said, fine. They'll win by 2.
They won by 1.
1 by 1.
Because Connor Hellebuck played well, didn't he, Anthony?
He can go fast line himself. He didn't play well ever.
At home.
Yeah, he played well at home. Okay. Technical Tommy.
He's mad.
I am mad.
So mad. Why is he mad?
This has been
just snaked my bet.
This has been a show of projection.
A lot of it.
A lot of projecting. All right. What we learned. 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments. Next in the Fast Lane. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or the Dallas Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Shave Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today, starting with our guy, Carey Davis.
I learned that the Mizzou fans got their panties in a bunch today.
Whoa.
He was talking a little football, a little foosball. They were mad. How'd you talk about our team that is trying to win the SEC? Never.
Well,
Nah, they will one day. Good luck to
He went to
those guys.
back-to-back SEC title games.
Like 10, 15 years ago.
When was the last time Illinois went to?
Didn't have one. Didn't have a title game.
Oh.
We just won it outright. That's 25 years ago, though. It's been a while. 24 years ago.
It has been a while. Jamie, what did you learn today?
Yeah, what I learned today is that when we do our live reads sometimes, we actually try to help our listeners out, give them advice on whether it's lenders or mentality, things like that.
Yeah.
And we try to give them advice on sports betting with Circus Sports Illinois.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, little did I know that sometimes your co-host can be a scumbag and take that bet and use it when they had not even looking at that. So, lesson learned from now on.
That's an Anthony
Just wait
thing.
to see some of the bets I put out there.
What I learned is that when Marsh did the same thing, in fact, he did it first, he will not jump in the water with me on that, because Marsh actually did it when you gave out the Florida Panthers in game one.
But I was
took the Maple
confident
Leafs.
in the other side of it. Chelsea, it's fine.
You could have took the Red Sox today.
It worked for you.
Yeah, you could have took the
Not
Red
confident
Sox.
in that one. It's not.
Okay.
I, in fact, was in the water and then climbed up the ladder, and Anthony put his hand out, and I grabbed him and pulled him in as I got out.
Yeah, kind
And
of
then shoved his head down.
Yeah. I was like hanging on a mountain.
Yeah.
And you stuck your claws into me to make sure that I fell backwards.
Well, apparently,
Carey said, "Oh, Marsh, you had a rough childhood. You're fine. It was okay that you did that to
Yeah,
Anthony."
because a whole other story.
Yeah,
You
which
know the whole backstory.
I do know that. I do know the backstory.
I don't know if
He's a murderer. That lion murdered that other lion.
He had a rough upbringing.
He did not.
He's always picked
Did it to himself.
He wasn't picked on.
He was.
He didn't even save his mother.
Let's not spoil the
A
documentary.
couple of white lions just came rolling in there, and what did old Scarface do? He goes, "I'm out of here."
Took off.
Is that my mother getting mauled? I didn't see it.
Well, Anthony, that's not his original name, right?
No, his original name is a little. Honestly, I couldn't pick it up. It was a Jacob or Jakub Farana. I don't know.
I learned that in this group, a little accident can be labeled as deception with malicious intent.
It definitely was.
What?
No. He's saying it was an accident, what he did.
It was an accident.
It wasn't.
It absolutely was.
He did minus 199.
I forgot to look at it.
pretty big
Damn
accident.
darn well
Yeah.
that the Celtics couldn't have been.
You think that was an accident? Why on earth would I pick an NBA play for one? And
Because you knew it was a
pick the
sure
team-
thing.
You knew we wouldn't look.
Pick the team who just lost their best player.
You waited until I was out the door, because I would have said, "Wait a minute, this is -5."
No.
And he knew that I wouldn't even check the NBA.
Exactly.
Carey, I blame you.
No, I bet.
It's the NBA guy.
All right, criticisms and compliments. We get a compliment for you, Anthony, from the 636. Stalter saw you in the gym a little before noon. You were looking swole. Almost asked you to spot me while I was walking on the treadmill. Maybe next time.
Oh, well, say hello next time. Yeah.
Spot on the treadmill.
You were working out? Did you have the iPod shuffle?
I did not.
No, because you used his phone
Get your
now.
damn money back, man.
Seriously, that's a $12.
Can we
I'll never get back.
our money back? We could have invested that into something else.
You wouldn't have invested in something else.
It's a whole $12 that could have made me money over the next 20 years.
Exactly.
Anyways, say hello next time.
We get a criticism.
And thank you, by the way.
From the 314. You guys should get rid of. It's the sports SHI, well, he put 2 I's, but basically the SHIT pack. It's annoying. You need to do 2 parts every time.
Well, we'll go to Marshy's poll.
Nah, we've polled enough.
We've put Marshy's poll out there a lot. Not doing
People like jumping on Marshy's poll.
Yeah, but I feel like this one's not supported. This is the first time anybody's ever said it.
Yeah.
About the Sixer?
Yeah.
Marsh said he didn't like the 2. He suggested that we shouldn't have 2
And what did you
segments.
tell Marsh?
To shut his mouth.
Yep.
So tell that
You know,
guy
that's a
on
good
the
call.
text line.
Shut your mouth, Texter. It's 2 segments. All right?
Yeah,
deal with
and
it.
they're
Deal with
questions
it.
generated by the text
Yeah,
line.
what's wrong with it?
It's called interaction.
Yes. We love interacting with you fine folks.
Except for you.
The 618 says, fast lane that guy.
Well said. Well said.
The 314 says, they're going to bitch no matter what.
Very true.
This is true. It's so true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
Good
what are you
call.
going to do, right?
What are you going to do? Well, we're going to come back here and try to do mediocre radio about 2 o'clock.
Sounds good. 3 stars of the day.
It's time for the Vaselines 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to keeping each other accountable.
Yes.
I like that one.
What do you, Carey? What do you
I was laughing at bacon wrap wiener.
Too long.
Yeah, I don't know if you can or not, but we just did. I'm not sure we're.
Marsh didn't. I don't think he added the T.
No, he did. He clearly did.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. But we didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
That's a great
What did they tell
Go
us?
ahead and spell that other one. F-U.
No, it's FASTLANEYOU. What did the FCC meeting people say on
They
that?
said, can we please have our meeting back?
Can people still see the slides? Somebody took over the meeting.
Somebody took over the meeting. Anthony.
Well, anyways, we'll go ahead. Keep the feet moving. Yep. 2nd star goes to Jamie Rivers' Table of Bourbon.
Oh, gosh, yes. No
Looking forward
doubt.
to diving into that.
No doubt, yes.
And our 1st star of the day goes out to Carey and Ryan Crawford from the Snake Pit and their relationship.
Yes. Good stuff.
Toxic as it may be.
Yep.
You know?
Kind of like a little toxicity.
No, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, a little bit.
The 314 says, be safe with more storms tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, did you guys see the Joplin Netflix documentary?
No.
Oh, man.
Bad. We should actually honestly wish everybody the best that was affected by the tornadoes here. I mean, some people lost their lives. It was horrible.
It's horrible, absolutely. If you that documentary dives into some of that, obviously in Joplin and the 2011 tornado, it's terrifying. All right. On that note,
There were 2 I's in there, by the way.
yeah, that's right. I
So
think
you
you're
spelled it
fine.
incorrect.
Yeah, no, right. Marsh read it fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, everything's fine. Don't look here. For Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. We will see you.